Goddard, and welcome to my live stream. Like I said, I haven't done YouTube for quite some time. I've got a lot of explaining to do. I'll let everyone get themselves comfortable in the chat. Hopefully, we get a couple of people joining us. I see one like already. Say something in the chat. This is a brand new system that I'm doing. I found this. I found this new software called Be Live, and I've been up all night trying to get it all together. And no, it's actually a very good system. I actually love the likes of this, new software that I'm doing. Yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna wait for a couple of people to join, and then yeah, we'll get started. Hopefully, we get a couple of people in the chat. So yeah, gosh, yeah, all of this is quite new to me. So please say hello, hello. Can you see me? Do I sound good to you? Is anybody? I've got one person looking. One person's already liked it. Please send a message over to me. Oh, am I confident about the game tonight? This is my mate Ryan. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing, bro? Yeah, I feel quite comfortable. Honestly, it's. I think the game against West Bromwich Albion at home. We all know that United have had a good break, and I think we should get past them quite easily. If not, then we could just be the United from our home, which our home record isn't too good. I'd like us to get our home record a lot better. Well, hey, it is working. Thank God. I was thinking I was just going to talk to myself for a whole 2 hours, and I kind of don't want to do that. So thank goodness people can hear me. And yes, I've got people in the chat. Yes. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I'll wait for a couple more people to join because I bet you there'll be a lot of people. Yes, Rob. Great to see you. Great to see you. I'm sorry I didn't message you earlier about the live stream, but yeah, please join in, guys, because I've not done YouTube for quite some time, and I do have a lot of explaining to do. Like I said, just this entire year of 2020 has been kind of like a mess of up and downs, and especially with YouTube, I've got to be honest. Doing YouTube on a regular basis, I'm not this so-called successful YouTuber that demands millions of views or likes or subscribers or anything like that. All I just plan on is just having a good time with friends and other subscribers and supporters supporting the channel in the best way I possibly can. The thing is, I like to get away with videos using very little time, very little equipment. I don't want all the fancy software to make videos look very professional and very positive. I do occasionally muck around with a couple of thumbnail softwares just to make the thumbnails a bit eye-catching instead of it just looking quite dull. So at least I try my best. There's an editing software that I haven't used for quite a while. It still works, even though it is a bit outdated. But in all honesty, it's a good software. And yeah, doing this so-called doing this whole live thing, I tried doing YouTube live, and the one problem that I found is that I couldn't have any well, let's say I've got some tier lists planned for today, and if I couldn't share it on YouTube, I tried doing a YouTube test. Apparently I couldn't share my screen on YouTube, so I was thinking, is there another way of me doing this? And then I found this place, Be Live Studios. It's actually a really good place. So say for example, I could share my screen of one of any Doctor Who tier lists I've got set up. I can share the screen just like that. So yeah, we'll be doing some Doctor Who stuff. We'll be doing things like, and also I can show it in the stream, like so. Yeah, that's how we're doing it now. And it took me a while for me to get the hang of all this. I can share, do it like this, that. You would probably that's probably not the way I'll go to, but. Say if we're doing it like this, my face will be in the corner, and we'll do the tier list as we are. It's yeah, I had to play around with it last night. Had a lot of fun. Just wanted to make sure it didn't glitch out on me, because that was the main thing. Because I was thinking about the feedback flowing through, and I'll be hearing my voice over and over. But no, it looks quite nice. It looks very professional, I've got to be honest. And it's made me a little bit more confident with doing YouTube live streams, because it's one thing of having a live stream, and then it's like having your, your YouTube audience to interact with you. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. And also, guess what? I can do this to the comment section. I can put them up on my screen. So yeah, Charlie, I love your photo. I think you should update it. Yeah, yes. But no, guys, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Like, I really didn't expect anybody to join this live stream. I might wait a little longer just in case if I have any more people joining. But please, you're more than happy. Tell your friends, tell anybody. I'll try and get Adam or Aaron on, hopefully, because, they'll be, they'll love this, really. I didn't want to disturb anyone's day. Doing this entire live stream to announce it all was, I tell you the truth, it was a bit stressful because it only occurred to me last night that I have been messaging a couple of people on YouTube saying that where I've been lately, and I said to them I'd do a live stream to practically explain everything. So yeah, it's I kind of thought about this last minute. This whole live stream was thought about last minute. So I had a good think about it, and I decided to do a YouTube live stream only because, instead of me making a full video and then just trying to get that out, and for the fact is, I want to interact with you guys. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I think this is kind of like the only way that I can interact with you guys, and hopefully, you can forgive me for my absence on YouTube. Me being away after my VHS collection back in May of 2020 was actually a very good video, and I was actually surprised I got quite a lot of likes on that because not gonna lie, I was making kind of all of you jealous, saying that I've got some of the VHS tapes from way back when they were recorded back in the 1980s and the 1990s, and thinking I'm gonna make you all incredibly jealous, like I got the original broadcast of Earthshock, Kids on the Zani, and so forth. I felt I really made you all jealous, like if I showed you that video. A lot of people were quite supportive and saying that they've got, a lot of, they made a lot of VHS tapes through the UK Gold system, which is, exactly what my mum and dad did. And yes, Aaron, it's good to see you, man. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Gosh, it's been a while, man. How are you doing? Now, literally, this whole live stream was for about last minute. So, no, I'm actually really excited to get going here because, I might wait for a couple more people. I've just had a couple of friends joining. And yeah, it seems to be going quite well. We all hope that 2020 can kind of end quite soon. But at least there's a positive. For any Doctor Who fans out there, actually, might as well get this branch the t-shirt out because there is a bit of a brand here. Well, to anybody who likes Doctor Who watching this, on Monday, this upcoming Monday is... Wait, hang on. Is it our 56th? No, it might be our 57th birthday, I think, of Doctor Who. I'm not too sure. Is it 57 years of Doctor Who, or is it 56? I think it's 57. Please tell me down below if it's 57. I'm sure it is 57. Because I'll be a nutter if I don't know that. I've come into this live stream without no research whatsoever. To tell you the truth, it's all a bit wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. So years upon years, we'll probably get confused one way or another. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic, Aaron. I'm so glad. Like, for a while, there's been times where I've looked on the YouTube channel, I thought, wow, it's been like months-wise, I didn't really pay attention to it, but as soon as I saw the one particular comment saying, where are you? I literally just left with no comments. And then the only thing I kind of did was I had to reply to him, and I hope he joins this stream because, like I said, it's a very good way to express my feelings, especially to the YouTube channel like this that I've made about 4 years ago. 4 years ago since I started, and you could not imagine the start I had for YouTube. I was scared. I was literally terrified, thinking no one's going to like this channel. No one's going to like these videos. I even started out by going through and reviewing some of the, the cringiest Doctor Who stuff. Like, remember when Class was a thing in 2016? Like, everyone back then was really excited and really hyped up for that. And I made those videos feel like, Class was an absolute banger. Now, when you look back on it, it's quite shit. Well, sorry to swear on this stream. I never want to produce any swearing or adult or explicit content. Just there you go. Let's just say it was kind of shite. Yeah, so I made those class videos look like they were the best things on YouTube. And I say that with extreme exaggeration. Then I tried doing a load of Doctor Who marathons, which I caught on quite well. I didn't have every Doctor Who DVD, so I couldn't do practically everything. And since then, the collection has grew and grew and grew, as you see by my DVD collection that I not only posted in May during this year. I've added 2 new additions to the collection, which I'll get on to when we do the 1960s tier list. I'm just going to wait for a couple more people. Well, hey, yeah. Well, it seems to me that there's a lot of our Doctor Who friends joining us. And yes, thanks for confirming. Yes, it was 57 years, Rob. Cheers for that. Yeah, 57 years, though. I mean, you might have a look back on some of the really old Doctor Who stories. You think, that's over 50 years now. You've got to like let it sink in. That's over 50 years. Like most of these stories here, these are over 50 years old. And yet to this day, we still appreciate the fact that we still love 1960s Doctor Who, 1970s, especially 1970s. I've got a long one for that. I've not done a 1980s tier list because, let's face it, the 1980s Doctor Who era, I think is a good year or a good era, shall we say. But let's just say that the stories that are quite forgettable. Let's just say Doctor Who did peak in 70s and then went down in 80s, but it's all about personal opinions. And the only ones I'm going to say from the 80s that kind of, shock out to me, you're more than happy to comment down below or type in the chat what 80s stories kind of stand out for you the most. For me, I've just got to say Earthshock, Caves on Azani, 5 Doctors, Resurrection of the Daleks, Attack of the Cybermen, Vengeance on Varos, The 2 Doctors, Trial of a Time Lord, then Remembrance of the Daleks, Grey Show in the Galaxy, Curse of Fenric, Ghostlight, and Survival. Those are the only 1980s stories that pop up into my mind and think those were some of the grandest 80s stories. And I kind of didn't want to do a tier list of 80s because a lot of them would be just about bearable, and some of them just get in the bin. So I didn't kind of want to waste my time doing an 80s. So I kind of wanted to do a lot of variety. So not only today we have got 1960s, but we've also got let's just click off that. Yeah, so guys, it's a new software, so forgive me if I'm just trying to test it out, or because it's my first time doing this whole live stream. I did a test yesterday and just to see if it works. And don't mind the little icon in the corner which says BeLive.com or something. Like that's the software that I'm using, which allows me to share my screen as on this live stream, which is really good though, because I was really worried for the fact that I wasn't going to able to stream anything. So yeah, it's all pretty good. So you can see my Chrome tabs. So I can share it on this one. I can show it in the stream. I can change the format. I can change the layout how I can. So yeah, it looks something like this. So yeah. All right. So I think I've kind of waited long enough. It's already been 18 minutes into the live stream, but thank you everyone just for joining. Even if you have just joined or you're thinking of joining later, then please feel free to give a like and give a subscribe. Or if you've subscribed already, then make sure you strap yourselves in for a really good time, because I just want to speak to all my subscribers and just to get to know everyone. How's everyone's days, how's everyone's years been. I don't think everyone has had a great 2020, shall we say. I don't think anyone has had that. We'll just have to confess to the fact that 2020, we just hope it can end practically right now, because nobody wants to be living 2020 anymore, because besides the fact of there's more cases coming up. No, Adam, I actually found the software. It's not actually one to buy. All you have to do is just go on to BeLive.com, and I think it's the first link you click, and it's literally you try out Go Live, and you don't have to sign up anything. Just sign into your Google account, and it lets you use this software for free. So it's a free software for anyone to do a large amount of live streaming. Like it's such of a good opportunity for anyone to do live streaming. Even if you've got a phone, you can do it from your phone. You can do it from your tablet. You can do it from your computer. It's literally so easy. So no matter kind of it's a good software to use. And again, it's in the corner, stream like a pro. And I kind of don't feel like a pro just yet streaming, because I've got to be honest, the last stream I did was at the start of 2019. Remember when resolution was a thing? Remember when we had that man-made Dalek? To be honest, looking back on it, it's actually, it's actually had some really good moments. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Favorite moment of 2020? Well, there's a couple, I'd say. Ryan, I think you might have remembered, or I hope you can remember, but I can't remember for sure. Remember my house party before we went down into lockdown? You came over to my house. We kind of trashed around my living room. We kind of made this whole living room feel like a Hell in a Cell cage. It was quite mental, but that was fun. And my birthday was quite fantastic. My birthday happened just before we went into lockdown, so I was very happy to the fact that we didn't have. I had to suffer my birthday during lockdown, which was a great thing. And I actually went down to London, which was my only trip of 2020 to another city. Not gonna lie, I haven't been anywhere else in 2020. Well, apart from a couple of holiday destinations for a day or so. But I went down to London to see my cousins. Been my second time visiting London. Not gonna lie, I'm one to be let's just say a bit skeptical when it came to the whole layout of London. It's like a maze. It's like I can go down one street and I'm already lost. It's ridiculous. And also all of the tube lines. Like, I'm familiar with the tram lines that are in central Manchester, but then the tube lines are like, you've got to go for this line, you've got to go to that line. Like, oh gosh, don't get me started. It makes my brain go wacky. But no, I think that was my favorite moment of 2020. Or even better, I'd have to say returning to work after the first lockdown, which I think as soon as I returned to work as a chef, to tell you honestly, I think everyone was very happy to return, even though we were strictly under the pandemic rules. Everyone was just really happy to see each other after such a long time, and I've made new friends, especially because we've got new people coming in, we've had people coming out. But yeah, I've had a blast at work, and that's particularly the reason why I've been off YouTube. So the fact that I have kind of abandoned YouTube in the worst possible way by not even giving you guys an update video of where I've been. You may have just clicked onto this video. It's like, oh, Alex is alive. I didn't realize he was back on YouTube. Yeah, I'm all about funny and jokes. Anyway, let's get down to some tier lists, guys. Let's have some fun, shall we? We'll start off by the 1960s era of Doctor Who. So these tier lists are made by myself. I'm going to show them in the chats. So there we go. This is how we're going to be doing it. And please comment down below if you like this format. And like I said, it's a brilliant way to live stream and to share your screen. So if you want to use this website, Be Live Studios, then I'll leave a link in the description down below after the live stream. But hey-o. So this tier list is going to consist on all of the 1960s stories from Doctor Who, over 50 years old, all of these stories are. And I've got 5 simple, tiers. We've got the best, fantastic, as in Mr. Eccleston's number catchphrase, fantastic. We've got all right, just about bearable, and get in the bin. Now, I kind of wanted to give these tiers a good name, but I couldn't really think of anything quite specific when it came to Doctor Who. But what I came up with is that I watch a lot of tier lists when it comes to wrestling tier lists. Like, they do the best, lovely, all right, just about bearable, and gets in the bin. And I just kind of stole it from them. So I hope you're not watching Cultaholic, because yeah, you'll sue. You will find me and you'll sue me. No, but no, I've been watching a lot of wrestling. I've been catching up on Doctor Who as best I can, especially the 1960s and the 1980s. Like those are the ones I haven't watched in a long time. So yeah, we might as well get started. So we'll start down the bottom. None of these stories are in chronological order. They're all kind of mixed up, but we'll work with it. It's fine. So we'll start off with the censor rights. I'm gonna just place it in the bin. Even though part one is kind of creepy, I'm not really invested into the fact that the censor rights are this sort of like unknown alien being. Then they're trying to sabotage things and stuff. It's not my ideal for a Doctor Who story. I find it quite dull. Yeah, Web Planet, quite just about bearable, just for the fact that I think they tried to do something good here. And even if it is with crap special effects or anything like that, I think they tried something new here, and credit to them for giving it a go. But what most people didn't realize, that they were people in those creature suits, and they thought that those animals, those creatures, were actually people inside. So for kids' imagination back in the 60s, that would have been sort of like an eye-catching thing to many people. And no wonder it even made the art of the first ever Doctor Who annual, which I think dates back to 50 years of to the Doctor Who annual since they first started out. Like they had a first annual which was on the cover of the Web Planet. So yeah, it's a okay story at least, but at least it made some good cover work for the original artwork of the first annual of Doctor Who. Next up, we've got the Massacre. Now, of course, this one is lost, so I can't really comment it anymore, but I have listened to the audio and I think it's good. I just think the visuals for that story particularly just have to be there. Not that I've got anything against it if the visuals came back from the Massacre, but it heavily relies on character, especially if it being a very dark and bleak story. It has to have a good visual to it. Like, audio may be well and good, but I kind of need to see it in order to appreciate it. Like, I think a lot of these lost stories would be down near the bottom only if the animation or the visuals are there to provide it with. Next up, we've got the Ark. Not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of the Ark, but I think it's just about bearable. I can just get through it though. I'm gonna be strictly honest. I don't like Dodo in any way, shape, or fashion. I think she's absolutely pathetic as a companion. She has no real highlights at all. Yeah, God, I'm being truthfully honest. She doesn't have any highlights at all as a companion. So this story, I guess it's okay, but I'm not one to say it's one that you should watch. The Savages next. Obviously, since I've listened to the audio and there's only a couple of scenes, like there's like barely any scenes of the Savages left. Not gonna hate on anybody. I do find a lot of people say it's underrated. I don't know. Visuals, just need visuals. It's just not one that I would go back to and listen to on audio. I just kind of won't for that reason. Next up, Power of the Daleks. Now, I've actually got the special edition, not on Blu-ray, but the special edition of Power of the Daleks. I also had the original edition. I don't mind the original edition of when it was released in 2016. I might remember when the news broke out in 2016 when Power of the Daleks was going to get animated. Everyone was like, "Is this happening? Is this really happening?" Everyone got bloody excited when Power of the Daleks said they were going to animate the whole episodes. Everyone was like, what on earth is this doing? Like why do this sort of thing? But it was sort of the thing led to the 50th celebration of Power of the Daleks, and in all honesty, it is without a doubt probably the best Dalek story I think throughout the 60s. I do think the one next to it though does compete with it though. I do think Power of the Daleks is very, very, very good. It goes in the best for it. Right next door to it is Evil of the Daleks. Now, I'm not sure if this is confirmed yet, but I do believe that the Evil of the Daleks is going to be the next one to get animated, if I'm not mistaken. But I do hope that that is the case. So in that respect, I do like both Dalek stories in equal way. So I'm going to put both of them in the best because, especially when Evil of the Daleks gets its animation, just think about that Emperor Dalek getting an animation sort of look, even though it kind of won't be the same as what you saw in real time. In a way, I kind of like the fact that they're going to go for stories that have less characters but more episodes. And it's a weird one to think, but I think characters take a lot more time to animate, and especially when it comes to settings. Like, again, there's one story here that I'll mention that is being delayed because of long expected character reasons and settings in general. Next up, Ice Warriors. I'd say it's a good beginning, but I'm going to put it in bearable, just about bearable. Ice Warriors, I've got nothing against them. They're a fantastic villain in Doctor Who. Just this story in particular, the animation is, it hurts my eyes while watching it. It does. I really, really dislike the animation. So it's not one that I go to. So that's all fair and dues. I'll have a look at your comments later. I'm going to just do this last one here, and I'm going to switch over and have a look at your comments. So yeah, we've got the Enemy of the World next, and I don't really need to say anything more about the Enemy of the World. That goes in the best tier, 100%. Especially for the fact that this is the one story out of most Doctor Who stories that is drivenly based by characters, but also by good storytelling. The fact that you've got Patrick Troughton, who's playing the role of his life. He's got 3 roles here. He's got the Doctor, he's got Salamander to play, and also he's got the Doctor pretending to be Salamander. So there's 3 roles there. The third one is a good one because not only he's trying to pretend to be Salamander, like you might see him, I don't know, slip up a couple of lines, or may get his wording a bit wrong, or he might sound a little bit out of tone than usual, may act, his body language is quite different. So you get to see kind of like the innocent look of the Doctor with his body language, and then you get this so bold, strong, sort of like muscular, masculine sort of figure of Salamander, who I think is a fantastic villain. It's definitely one that if you ever try to recreate this story, I don't think you can today, because imagine if you looked into the mirror, you saw the better version of yourself, and he came out of the mirror and attacked you. That could have been an idea, but no, they actually kept things nice and simple. And yeah, the betrayal with the people underneath the earth creating all the natural disasters. Yeah, it's quite sinister to what he's doing. But yeah, it's one that I think a lot of people tend to like and tend to rate very, very highly. Let's see if we've got any. We've got a lot of questions. I'm going to go to your comments right now. Oh, yes. I do remember. Right, yeah. That was, for any of you who doesn't know this, this was 2018 when I had my first sort of party at my house. I had my friends around, and then I remembered two of my friends. One of them locked my friend in the conservatory just there. He locked him in there and with himself, and basically played the guitar on loud. And it's an acoustic guitar, not a guitar. It's not an electrical guitar. No, it played so loudly that I think the neighbors got really annoyed, but also to the fact that the person inside the room was literally getting his ears busted, because he was thinking random songs. I just couldn't believe to the fact that they are just, destroying his, ears because of this. So yeah, it's a crazy one, Ryan. I do remember some great memories from those house parties. Let's have a look. A couple of others. Ah, cheers, Charlie. I love it. Yeah, it's just something brand new, and just absolutely just trying to just see how it goes. Yeah, well, who knows? I think Gary Russell, for the fact that he then tends to predict what's going to be animated next and what doesn't get animated. I kind of want his phone number, because I just like to just spam him saying Evil of the Daleks is next, Evil of the Daleks is next. Don't you dare do anything next. We want Evil of the Daleks. You can have a lot of power when you get somebody's phone number. You can just spam them for days, and then all of a sudden they'll give in and just say, "Oh, you know what? I'll reply to this message." Say, "Bloody hell! There's loads of messages here I can't comply with." Honestly, it's a good thing to have somebody's phone number. Not to spam though, just I don't mind annoying them every now and again. You know, especially when you want something like, you know, like a certain Doctor Who story, like we all want Evil the Daleks. A lot of people would be spamming, please bring back the Space Pirates. A lot of us would be thinking, no, 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 no. There's 1% of us that are, you know, thinking Space Pirates. Very much doubt that's going to get brought back anytime sooner. But I do think I quite like it in a way. It does need visuals in order to have itself some sort of solid structurability to it. Mm, yeah. Oh yes. I mean, I'm even glad they even brought you food. I thought that was quite kind of them. Was that in a way to say, look, you can have this free food, but I'm not going to reveal anything more about any sort of animation stories? Oh, greatest Manchester United moment. Now, this is going off topic, Doctor Who. So, I'd have to say my favourite Manchester United moments, it's either modern or present. I think winning a trophy is all well and good. I think I've got a favourite match involved, but I think that moment that was probably the greatest moment for me. I think winning the Champions League in '99 was amazing, which was probably the highlight of our club. I think the 2008 Champions League win was probably my favourite time as an 8-year-old loving United. So yeah, I'll have to say that, and it does seem kind of a basic answer, but it's something that was brought down from childhood. So it is a good memory, and let's just hope we let's win one this year. I hope. I pray to God the social pulls it out of the bag. Continue on with our tier list malarkey. Crotons. Now, Aaron, if you're watching this, I'm going to be. I don't want to say harsh, but I'm going to put it in all right. Not fantastic, just all right. I do appreciate the fact that what the Crotons did was different, and it's sort of like the War Machines and the Daleks, but it's sort of like blended in together, and it is such like a good creative story in a way. I do like it. Next up, we've got the Aztecs. That's going in fantastic. One of my favorite historical stories. Some people find it overrated, and I'm not surprised because a lot of people tend to praise Barbara's performance, but I praise just the one line in general that changes the entirety of the whole story. You can't rewrite history, not one line. And I love how William Hartnell just does it with an upbeat and beastly voice, like, you cannot rewrite history, not one line. And it's so death-defying that even listening to William Hartnell say that, it's like, you know, he's like that uncle of yours saying, you should not do this, you should not do this. And you're like there thinking, maybe he's right. Of course he's right, because he's the bloody doctor. But no, I think Barbara does look fantastic. And, you know, they actually coped with the setting of the Aztecs quite nicely because they did it all in, they did a couple of it in studios. They actually kind of made a whole backdrop of sort of like an ancient city of the Aztecs. And I thought it was quite clever how they managed to pull it all off, because it does look like there's a massive curtain that looks like sort of ancient you know, Aztecs times, but in actual fact it actually pulls off the effects quite nicely. I think it does deserve a little bit of praise there. Next up, the Crusade. I think it's all right. Episodes 1 and 3 have survived. Episodes 2 and 4 haven't. I love episode 1 though, Lionheart. I think it's fantastic. Episode 3 does go a bit downhill because I think there's a little bit of like a turmoil, a bit of betrayal. I love Julian Glover's performance as King Richard the First. I believe it's King Richard the Third. I mean, he then later appeared later in City of Death as Scaroth. But now I think he was fantastic. The Brigadier was originally going to play King Richard the First in the Crusade, but then he was then moved over to a later role, as in Breton, leader Brent in Dalek's Master Plan. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good story, I've got to say. New one. View from the Deep. Now, the recent edition of View from the Deep has just been released a couple of months ago, and I've got the Steelbook edition. I bought 2 editions. I bought one for myself, thinking I've got this already straight in my bag. Then I ordered a Steelbook edition because I completely forgot I ordered the DVD version. And what I thought was, like, I don't know what to do. I've got 2 editions. So I gave one to my auntie for free because she doesn't have a Blu-ray player, and she really desperately needed Fury from the Deep. So I sort of gave it to her as like an early birthday present. So that was quite nice. But like I said, Fury from the Deep, my overall thoughts, the music, I could literally have that soundtrack on loop and literally not get bored of it. Sometimes when I'm walking up, like, even like I'm walking down the street and I see somebody, like if I make an eye contact with them or something, like I'm just gonna creep them out by, like, I don't know, like think about when it comes to the moment when the Mr. Quill is opening his mouth and releasing that gas, or with somebody that you really, really despise. Like, you could just literally open up your mouth and just let that gas evolve and swamp them or something. Like, I could do that in a way. But it's a very good, it's an unbelievable story. No matter how many people said, we wanted Fury from the Deep to come back, because I think, in all honesty, without Fury from the Deep, I don't think people would like, the fact that Based on the Siege stories are that powerful today. A story like Fury from the Deep can send shivers down your spine. It is very, very powerful stuff, I've got to say. So I'm going to suggest Fury from the Deep is obviously going to go in the best, but where, though? I want it, like, obviously, next to where Power of the Daleks is, that's probably the place where I would say it ranks near there. I'm going to suggest to put it first. Then I would probably, at the end, I'll make sure that all of this is all done up. So we've still got a long way to go still. 10th Planet, very good story. Introduction to the Cybermen. That's better than the Aztecs, I've got to say. Yeah, I love the Mondasian Cybermen. Very, very powerful. So yeah, brilliant. Faceless Ones, criminally underrated. And I'm going to put it in fantastic. It's not ideally the best. I gave it a really good rating on my channel, because I was so invested into the fact that they made the Faceless Ones more like Based on the Siege, but Based on the Siege within an aeroplane and taking or within an airport, and to find so many hidden spots within the airport, like the room that the Doctor got suffocated in, and even to the passengers that got disappeared off the plane. It makes it quite of an atmospheric sort of vibe. Like, always have that feeling when you're going abroad. Do you ever wonder that, when people go behind the to the crew area, do they ever think they're ever going to shrink you? And yeah, interesting. That makes you wonder why people have not done this nowadays. Well, it's because no one wants to be turned into a little shrimp. That's why. Edge of Destruction next. Very underrated. I'm going to say it's better than the Crusade, though, because I think as a two-part as alone, it's actually very, very good, very, very enjoyable. Again, makes you really question your surroundings, makes you question the Doctor of how he treats Barbara as an imposter on the ship. It builds a lot of good chemistry within the TARDIS crew. I think I like a couple of episodes where they do, they build up character really nicely, and then it leads on to further stories where they're really established characters. So yeah, I think it's a good character story. Tomb of the Cybermen, probably the best Cyberman story in my opinion. I'm going to put it at the top there. I think it is. Part of the Daleks, I think, is better than Tomb, but I do love Tomb, though it is kind of a guilty pleasure to me, because I do think that when people look at Tomb of the Cybermen, they think it's a fantastic one, but not one of my favorites. And I completely understand that. I think a lot of people go for the Invasion, because the Invasion is just a big one that I think a lot of people tend to like when it comes to Cybermen stories. Don't mind me, I'm having a cow sprite. I've not had anything all day, but I'm going to get something after this stream. Yeah, so Tomb of the Cybermen. What more can I have to say? I think it's a brilliant story, brilliant Cyberman story. I love Toberman in that. I think Toberman is absolutely fantastic. He reminds me of the Incredible Hulk. He reminds me of like this tall, strong person. He doesn't have the Incredible Hulk muscles. He doesn't rip out his shirt like a madman. No, he's quite calm about it. He's like, Toberman, move. Toberman, smash. Something like that. I don't know, but reminds me a lot of when he's wrestling with the Cybermen. It makes me wonder of how, he's been quite underutilized. He's definitely one to watch when you watch Tomb of the Cybermen. I do think he deserves a lot more praise. I think and the person who played Toberman, I give him massive credit, because even the fact he didn't speak much, he was very, very, very engaging, and to the fact that he was one of the first people to be converted. Like you saw how they converted his arm, and in a way, it made him quite menacing. And imagine when kids watched that and they saw that man getting his arm converted, be getting covered with all of this cybernetic technology. It's like it's creepy, sinister stuff. Really, you can really spook kids out with that. Mission to the Unknown. I really praise to the fact that they tried a great recreation of Mission to the Unknown on YouTube. If you haven't seen that recreation of Mission to the Unknown, I highly recommend you watch it because it is bloody good. Like I said, it's just one part alone, so I can't really say it's outstanding, but to the fact that they made it within a college or sort of like a Lancaster University did an amazing job doing the best to recreate Mission to the Unknown with, voiceovers with Nicholas Briggs involved and the characters around the center circle. And yeah, I think it's a brilliant story. Like a good build-up to the Dark's master plan. Obviously, we're waiting for the Dark's master plan to get that build-up, but I kind of want the Mission to the Unknown to get its own little feature within like the Daleks master plan as like maybe like a special or something, because I think you can't have the Daleks master plan without Mission to the Unknown. I just don't think those two will work well. I don't think the fact that they separate out both stories. Do you think that's going to be possible? I think to the fact that they made one single episode of Doctor Who and made it more like it was 1960s but redone again. I think it's fantastic for the way they actually complied it all. Really, really professional work from the Lancaster University team. Brilliant stuff. Macro Terror. Again, I rate these as second lead to the Faceless ones. Freaking love the animation, and I can't go too much about the animation side of the Macro Terror and the Faceless ones. They are both equally great, and the stories are incredibly engaging, terrifying. Especially the Macro Terror. Animation to Macro Terror lifts the Macro Terror from just here all the way to there. Like, no joke, the Macro Terror are bloody threatening in this. I always think to myself, imagine when you're in episode 3 when Jamie's down in the caves and he's suffering from all of the gas, and then he's got, like, I don't know, 4 large macros after him. Like, imagine being stuck down there with macro after you and you've got a gas suffocating you. It's bone-chilling stuff. Imagine being in that position. None of us would survive, honestly. It is like, it's all those episodes that it takes you out of the episode and you really think this is what they're doing to the companions and putting them all through this danger. And I do like a good betrayal in there. Ben is portrayed well, betrays quite a lot. And there's some of the iconic scenes. Some of the scenes from the, surviving clips don't match up to the actual animation itself. I do think that's quite weird. However, I think they just want to make it a little bit different, which I like difference. I think everyone likes a bit of difference, but I think a lot of the old-fashioned fans tend to like the regular sort of recreation of all of it. So I do give some credit to some of it. Like what I liked of the Faceless Ones animation, though, which I explained in my animation video. You can go and check it out on my channel. It's already on there. It's been there for about 7 months now. It was basically a little discussion about the fact that they featured episodes 1 and 3 of the Faceless Ones. So you could have episodes 1 and 3 as the basic real-time Doctor Who story, and then you can have episodes 2, 4, 5, and 6 as the animated versions, or you can have them on audio. It was completely up to you and your choice. So that's what I really appreciated, the fact that they made Doctor Who releases like this with the option for you to choose which version you want to watch. Full animation or partly animated or just audio. You can also watch the reconstruction to give you all the options. So no one is ever upset at the fact that they never get their own version. Everyone gets their version. I think it's just the way that they have, produced these DVDs and made it so accessible to fans. I think the animations to all these lost stories is a revolution. It is a massive revolution to all of the Doctor Who lost stories. Next up, War Games. Do I need to say anything more? War Games is just elite. It's beyond elite. It's the best of the best. Celestial Toymaker, very underrated. I'm going to put it in all right because, of course, episodes 1, 2, and 3 are lost. Episode 4, I think is brilliant. the Celestial Toymaker is definitely one that should return hopefully soon. Because I can just imagine. Remember when the Celestial Toymaker told the Doctor that he is immortal and he's an immortal spirit? He's still out there. He's still out there in Doctor Who's space. And why have we not even returned to the Celestial Toymaker? I don't know, maybe to, I don't know, play a game of chess or maybe a game of, I don't know, like the final game or something. I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good idea. Chibnall, I hope you're not watching this and you're thinking you're stealing my idea. No, you have permission. If ever I created some ideas and Chris Chibnall watches these stupid streams like this, gosh, I'll be massively famous. Let's go on to the invasion, and I'll do this last one, and I'll have a look at your chats. Just give me 1 sec. Invasion goes into the best. I'm going to put it there with the enemy of the world going. Oh no, Eve of the Daleks going there. Obviously, because we haven't got the animation, I think that works quite nicely. Yeah, Invasion, what most people's favourite Simon story, with Tobias Vaughan being at the centre, being the badass character in this. Simon don't get introduced until episode 4, which I think is probably the perfect build-up, because I think even with the scenes without the Sidemen, it's good character building and it's good storytelling. It's making the whole, sort of fear of what's to come yet more serious and more threatening. So I like the fact that they build up the fact that the Sidemen are coming, and you don't know when they are coming, but they are coming though. So I think it's still great how they do sort of things like this. Right then, I've got a lot of things to catch up. Still need to get the faceless ones, Adam. Well, I won't spoil you any much, but one thing I will say, if you like episodes 1 and 3 as the original episodes, go watch those and then watch episodes 2, 4, 5, and 6 as the animated version, because I think a lot of us would tend to like to watch the real ones, then the animations like intertwine. I think they give you some, a bit of originality, which is always nice to see. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it's well, let's just say that Polly's a great companion. I think she's quite fundamentally an essential companion when it came to the 1960s, when they had that regeneration change. I thought they were not only going to change up the Doctor, but change up the companions. And I'm glad they kept it with Polly and Ben, because I think they're quite revolutionized to the whole sort of aspect of Doctor Who. Hey, James, man. Oh, James. It's good to see you again, James. I haven't seen you in ages, bro. Man, I need to I need to meet up with you, mate. Like, it's been that long. I hope everything's well. How's your girlfriend? I hope everything's fantastic. Mate, literally, sorry. New stream, new software. I need to get used to it. Apologies, mate. Yeah, I could definitely see, some FIFA content coming out. I need to get FIFA 21. I'm just waiting for a Black Friday deal. Like, I'm just hoping I can get some cheap games, like, for a really good price on Black Friday. I'm just looking up so many deals, and I'm just waiting for the right time to, pick out when I can do it. I'd love to do a couple of FIFA streams. I think that'd be quite cool. Watch until one of the streams crashes and it'll be just me throwing my controller around like a maverick, thinking that I can't defend on FIFA 21, and the fact that they've made FIFA 21 just 1% better every year. And it's like, you just want me to play FIFA 21 unless I rage quit. Just wait until they put the difficulty on legendary and I absolutely go on a full-on rage quit, and that'll be getting me loads and loads and loads of views there. If that would be the day, I'd love that. No, it's yeah. No, James, I'm glad that you've joined up to this stream. Like, I haven't seen you for a mad time. It's also been a while since I haven't seen, Jack, James, Jack. Well, what am I saying? Jack, Ben, and you and Lewis for a while. I hope next year there will be points where we can all meet up for a good pint. I mean, for our sakes, we all want that pint next to us. I mean, I always call ourselves one of the fellas for a reason, and you always get to see my Instagram posts thinking, my gosh, Alex is just a maverick when it comes to his alcohol. What can I say? But no, I'm glad you've joined the streams, James, because like I said, I would love to have a reunion at some point, special with all of us. I think it would be fantastic if we could do that at some points. But like I said, cheers for joining in, and I will try and set up a FIFA 21 stream at some point. If I could do a Road to Glory, maybe on Ultimate Team, we'll see. But I'll probably start off with a very dead pack, and I'll be wasting FIFA coins on getting kind of pathetic packs and not actually getting anyone decent. Yeah, if that will be the day, just wait until everything goes to shit on my FIFA 21 career, and it literally starts from bad to worse. Like, that'll be the only thing that I can certainly see, anything happening. But anyway, James, I really appreciate you joining the stream. You're more than happy to, organize anything later on in the year. Obviously, not as in 2020 now, but 2021. Anything you want to do, whether it's meetups or anything, then we'll always organize anything. But I hope you're staying safe, and I hope your family is doing well as well, mate. I really appreciate it. Right then, let's do this quite quickly, because I bet you're sick and tired of me bored by the 1960s. Right, Time Meddler, going to go for amazing, fantastic, great historical. Not going to lie about anything about that. I think the scene with the ship, I do question mark over to the fact that they stole it from another show, and the meddling monk is quite a funny and humorous character. Mind Robber, brilliant fan fiction story. Really coping to the realms of fiction and creating stories out of nothing and creating quite a creative piece. I'm really so glad rewatching it now, because watching it now makes me more true to the fact that you don't have to just do non-fiction stories. And yet, even so, this is a science fiction show, and doing one just generally about fiction, I think, is always a good one to show the diversity within the Doctor Who sort of like production group. The Daleks, need I say, I think the Daleks is still bloody brilliant. Bit long for me. Just one. I would maybe take 2 episodes off, and then that would do me. For 7 episodes, oh gosh, it's like, can you get to the best bit first? But it is a bit of a drag, I've got to say. Plans of Giant, it's all right, very good actually. The fact that they made sort of a Doctor Who story where the characters are still the same size, but they've made everything really, really, really big. Like, they've made grass straws really big. They've made, I don't know, briefcases very, very big. It's all the camera work that they've done really nicely with. I think it's a good story. Dark Invasion of Earth. This is one that's going to cause opinions. And unfortunately, I do like it in a way. And I'm going to rate it lower than the Daleks, because I think it is still a staple of a fantastic story. There's a few camera errors here and there, but I still think it's a fantastic story. This one. Which one's this one? Ah, that's it. The Space Museum. Space Museum is very, very creepy. Going to put it on all right. Some good creepy moments here and there. Nothing I would say that is breaks out to me as one of the standalone stories. No, but I think it's pretty good. Feels like I'm missing a story here. I can't remember if I'm missing one. Oh, that's it. I knew I've missed one. God damn it. Yeah, I think I have missed one here. I think it might have been the Chase. Yeah, I think I have, unfortunately. Well, let's just say that I've put the Chase on there, and just say the Chase is a funny Dalek story that I think gets a lot of saying critics for the fact that it's very, very silly. Smugglers, I'm not going to lie, I think it's bearable. Actually, the animations. If I see with the animations, I think it could be good. Moonbase, best tier. Brilliant, brilliant story. Creepy aspect on the moon. Makes it so atmospheric and so claustrophobic in many places. I think it's grand. Marco Polo, all right. Audio is good. Visuals, really need visuals, and this is the story that I was talking to you about. That this is the fact that if they want to do animation for Marco Polo, this is the one that they're going to do last. Well, I think second to last, because they've got to do Dark Master Plan. But Marco Polo is going to take a while because there's bloody too many characters in there, and yeah, it's the settings, and they go from location to location to location, just instantly. So I think that is a tough story to animate. Keys of Marinus, I guess it's just bearable. Nothing I'll go back to, but just about bearable, I would say. Reign of Terror, bearable again. I don't mind it. Don't mind a good watch of it. Just think it's all right. Dark's Master Plan. Now, for the fact that he's still missing, I'm going to put him fantastic for the time being. Until we get the visuals, wait until we get a visual of a episode, because I think one episode is enough for making people say, oh, Dark's Master Plan's coming back. Wait until they've animated all 12. That's going to take like a year's work. Think about 21. They're going to do a massive project and animate Dark's Master Plan for a long, long, long time. That's what I fear that they're going to do. Gunfighters. Get in the bin. Get in the bin. Wild West. That's the one story that they should never ever recreate. Only because they try and mess up with the accents and they try and just make it do it into all of like a mess, really. A Town Called Mercy in the new series is quite good. Just, I don't think we need to come back to it. Dominators, bearable, absolute, yeah. It's a bit of a useless story. It's just absolute crap. Abominable Snowmen, brilliant. I think it's to the fact that I think, looking back on the stories like the Web of Fear, I do think the Abominable Snowman gets overshadowed, definitely. But I still would like a good watch out of it, especially with animation. Wheel in Space, I'm going to rate it actually quite high. I think it is, again, underrated, very underrated as a Sandman story. I always thought that when they released the Magra, they gave a little sneak preview of the Wheel in Space. And I was thinking, are they going to do the Wheel in Space? And yet, we haven't got the Wheel in Space yet. That always made me wonder. Like, you'd think you'd get something like a teaser, and yet, after a good year or two, you don't get it. It's like, it's like you've been just ripped off there. Yeah, it's just a bit of a shame, really. They just show episode 1, which I think they've made episode 1 quite nicely. Galaxy 4, bearable. A lot of the bearable ones, I mean, I don't mind any of these stories. I just wouldn't return to, honestly. On Unearthly Child, it's okay. Episode 1's perfect. The rest, take with a bit of salt. It's okay. The Romans, funny. Love it. Yeah, very, very good historical. The characters are extremely funny. I love Julius Caesar in it. He acts like this comedic buffoon, like he hasn't seen a woman before, and then goes all lovey-dovey on that woman. Like it's very cringy. Gotta say, he is good in it, but not gonna lie, it's a good historical. I wouldn't rank it any higher. I think I'd just leave it at probably there. Underwater Menace. Get in the bin. Get in the bin. Absolute horseshit. I told I was not going to swear on this, but I'm sorry, but it's absolute shite. Really shite. Don't waste your money. They even got a new steel, but they've got a new steel cover for it. They've made a new cover for it so that people on HMV can order it and think, oh, Underwater Menace, going to get something good here. No. Wank animation, wank story, wank characters. That story is just wank. Absolutely. Highlanders, again, bearable. Snow animation, so I can't judge it. Seeds of Death, really good. Love to see Seeds of Death. Space Pirates, get in the bin. Even though I really want to see it that badly, I just think get in the bin for all good sake. Give the people what they want. War Machines, brilliant story. Great use of the fact that they've made sort of like a robot invading sort of London scenario, which is, I think, at some point it's already happened. When technology gets more intelligent by every decade, and it develops sort of like a great intelligence in a way. Speaking of the great intelligence, we have the Web of Fear, and I'm going to do this. As in, I've ranked Web of Fear below the Enemy of the World. Reason is, I think I'd prefer Enemy of the World as a good character story. Web of Fear is still grand as a story. It's on the elite level. I prefer Enemy of the World, honestly. And I know everyone's going to disagree on that. But I think it's the fact I just saw Patrick Troughton in there as the main guy. And Web of Fear, though. Brilliant to see the Colonel Brigadier, Colonel Brigadier. That doesn't make any sense. Colonel Lethbridge Stewart, sorry, and also the SE look quite menacing as well. And then 2 last stories: Rescue, bearable, but nothing. Mythmakers, get in the bin. That's it. That's my tier list for 1960s. So a lot of fantastic stories there. A couple of alright underrated gems there. Just a couple of them just need visuals for them to be really appreciated. Bearable ones, don't mind if these ones, I don't mind watching, but they're not my ideal ones to go to. Get in the bin, just absolute pathetic ones, just don't bother. And the best ones, yeah, those are the best ones I rank highly in the 60s era. But yeah, they've got some fantastic choices. Like these ones are really strong. No matter which one you watch, they are really strong. So yeah, that one's a good one. Let's hide that for the time being. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Sorry, I didn't expect this happening. Like, I haven't had the chance to like if I could have the comments right next to where I'm doing it all, that would be great. Unless I can move it, I'll be one to say I can't do it and I cannot do it. Yeah, I'd love to. To tell you the truth, mate, I'd love to do a Manchester United career mode. I think it's not just by the fact that I want to sign good players. I think I just want to I don't know, see how the FIFA gameplay goes, and I don't know, try and do something with the sliders, because I think there's ways that you can adapt the passing, the shooting, and just the speed of the game a bit. I just want to just try and experiment with that career mode, not trying to put our season in jeopardy, obviously, like we've already had right now. The fact that we're still are we 14th in the league right now? I think we are still. We're 14th and we're 9 weeks in. It's not a good image. No. It's probably an ideal scenario that I would do one immediately, and I'm going to stress on this. I would get rid of 3 players if I immediately started. I would get rid of 3 players at Man United who are currently in the squad right now and who have not left yet for any good reason. And I would just like to get rid of them. I would get rid of Phil Jones, which is number 1, because he's still pissing there. Like, has anyone just started to contact him thinking, is Phil Jones still around at United somewhere? I'd like to get Maguire out, honestly. Maguire, the last sort of couple of months has pissed me off, honestly. He has absolutely made an absolute fool of himself. He wrestles his defenders to the ground like he's a one-man defensive man, and he thinks he can handle everything like that. I just understand what he's coming from. He's coming from like a selfish captain, and yet hardly, he hardly makes any complaints. Like if somebody gets a red card, he doesn't go over to the referee and just, I don't know, argues with the ref, or I don't know, actually fights what should be concerned about it. No, he just decides, well, he gets sent off. Something more can do, really. He just lies there in the background. I mean, that's your captain. Don't even mention it to the fact that he, apparently got arrested and was sent to a Greece, was locked away in a prison, let's just say. And did he deserve it? As captain, no. If you weren't captain of Manchester United, if you were just a fan and you did it just out of spite because somebody was hurting your friend, or somebody hurted your girlfriend and you weren't having it, obviously the ball wouldn't be a blame on you. It would just be an act of self-defense. But to the fact that you're a Manchester United captain, and not only that you've got a big, massive reputation, it's also to the fact that I do think that he's dug himself into a massive hole. And do I think that he has actually made himself better? No, I think he's actually gone downhill. So I'd like to sell him. And the last person I'd like to sell would be, oh, who would like to sell? I don't mind our signings that we've made, but a couple of them now, like I haven't heard of any of them. Like I don't know what's the point. Like, what's the point of we signing Igalo for? I rate Igalo quite a lot, but I don't know why people didn't like him at first. Like, I think he's a solid striker. I would get rid of Luke Shaw. I mean, we've bought another left back for some pissing reason, so we might as well use him. I mean, I'll be surprised if we play. Who is it? I'll be surprised if we don't play Alex Tellers because it means Solskjaer just prefers Luke Shaw over all honesty. Yeah. But anyway, mate. Yeah, my family are doing well. They're working from home, honestly. The fact that they are the ones working from home and I'm the one going into work for, going in and cooking for customers, keeping the restaurant open as long as possible. We're still open, by the way. We're just doing like a couple of cakes, a couple of coffees, that sort of thing. Like I've had a good deep clean of the kitchen. That's given me a really good time during this second lockdown. I've had to clean the whole kitchen, but I've had a really good time at my work, Carmelo. It's actually a good job of mine. I did think that for a time I thought I was better than this place, but in all honesty, I think it's a good place for me to, shoot up in my career because, I might as well stay with the place that, as I'm still furloughed. And I, appreciate to the boss keeping me sane and, keeping me, the wages. He's been, changing the wages up a bit, like, to keep me happy, to keep everyone happy. I think everyone's really happy at the moment. But like I said, I think it's given me a good time to not only clean the kitchen, clean everything, and give everything a good sort out, but it's now giving us time for us to be ready when we return back, which I think we're going to get postponed for another 2 weeks, which I don't mind. Means I could do more YouTube, which would be great. I'd love to do more career modes. I'd love to do more Doctor Who videos. I might do a separate sort of channel, like, or I don't know, maybe like a separate sort of playlist where it will just be, I don't know, career modes. I might try and change it up a bit because I don't want to try and do like a different channel because if I tried a different channel, like, I don't know, set one up, I very much doubt anyone's gonna like, keep on. So I'd say I just keep the one channel and I'll just do multiple videos like in different playlists. Like that'll work, surely. Yeah. Let's see some of your comments. Oh wow. So, a few from the deepest up there. Love the picks that they chose for animation so far. Yeah, and I hope they continue with it because it's not for the fact that they have, they choose these stories randomly. They pick them out in, in a good order. It's not like they decide to go for people's favorites. They go for the ones that they're structured by characters, settings, the storyline, how many episodes, that sort of thing. It usually depends on, those factors. So fill up your glasses and join the song. Adam. Okay. Not gonna lie, that's the song from the Gunfighters. Adam, if you're watching it, don't look what's on the screen. I'll remove it right now. No, I'm actually really happy I'm doing this live stream. I've now started to feel a lot more confident now. As ever before, I was in lockdown. I worried so much that, the YouTube channel was literally just going to be there, just gathering up dust. Like, I kind of like left it for months. It sounds like a diss track right now. It's like, it's like gathered up dust. I've left it for months. I could just do a diss track on this channel, saying of how much I've just abandoned this channel for all good reasons. I've been lazy. I've been having life. I've been working. Is that a reason why I haven't been returning to YouTube? I haven't thought of any good video ideas. There's loads of video ideas that I could do, but to the fact that, I could explain every single story, every sort of opinion. I do like to do my in-depth reviews because I do like to speak quite a while, but not too long. You all know me. I sometimes go on for a long rant, and it's like I repeat the same stuff over and over and over again. It's like, Alex, we've heard this for the 50th time. Can you stop talking? And it's just sometimes I think to myself, have I said that Have I said that? I sometimes actually to repeat myself. I'm always like that. Oh well, but I'm absolutely just thankful for anyone who's joined and who is just just having a good chat with me, because I even had a chat to any of my subscribers for a long time. I mean, there was one person who commented, I think it was the Fox critic. He said, "Where are you?" And I had to give a response back because he was probably wondering where the hell I've been. So I don't mind if people click onto this live stream or even watch back over this live stream and, actually, maybe leave a comment saying, should I continue? Should I not? I think it's the decision that I want to go into this YouTube channel, not to do it full time, because I'll slowly return back to the to my job, and it'll be a full-time job, which means there'll be very, very little time for me to, I don't know, make any videos. However, I don't mind a live stream like this every now and again to cheer you guys up, or any sort of requested video you'd like me to do. I'm more than happy to do any sort of video request, but I would like to stress out the point I'm making is I'd like to carry on this channel, but maybe keep it active. Like, I don't know, do one sort of video every couple of weeks. Like, I get that break, and then I can just do a couple of videos of YouTube, and then, I don't know, have another 2-week break. Just pace myself, because I think that's the only reason why I sort of tried to do this live stream. And I know this live stream was kind of last minute. I kind of organized it last minute, but I kind of wanted to get my point across, because I think it was the fact that I want to continue, but I don't want to continue like on a day-to-day sort of schedule. I like to do one video and then maybe take another 2 weeks off, then come back, think of some more ideas, take another 2 weeks off, and just try and pace it out. I mean, I think that's the only way I've got to do it, and especially, work being very hour demanding. I think that's the only thing I've got to show for. So, yeah, for all of you guys watching this, I really appreciate the fact that you like the stream, you want me to continue, and I'm more than happy to continue no matter what. I'm going to do another tier list. Let's have a look at who wants to have a look at the doctors. Okay, so I can rank every doctor from favorite story. And by the way, no doctor's going in the bin, because no doctor deserves to be in the bin, not for any reason, because I think everyone, as an actor on Doctor Who, who has played the Doctor, has made it so amazing, to the fact that we've had an amazing honor to have Doctor Who actors to play the Doctor in the best possible way. Like, counting all of them, let's say I'm going to show this on my screen. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Right then. So, like I said, the columns are the exact same. So I've got the best, fantastic, all right, lovely, just about bearable, and get in the bin. Yeah. So this is what I'm going with here. So, in all honesty, I think every doctor is brilliant. Like, I don't know what it is with some people, they criticize to the fact that this doctor's a little bit boring, this doctor's a little bit too naive, this doctor's a little bit iffy here and there. I don't think that, because I think I'm quite open to all of the doctors, and I like different stories from every doctor. But I think generally every doctor's had a decent run, whether it's Big Finish, whether it's books, whether it's TV shows, whether it's comic book strips, anything in general. I think every doctor's had a privilege to be the Doctor, and I think we just have to I don't know, respect them for the fact that they are the Doctor. They are their own entity. They are their own personality, whether you like them or not. I'm not going to put any of them in the bin. Like, none of them are in the bin. So we're going to start with the first. The first I'm going to put in, all right. To a part of his episodes, he does come across quite violent, which I like, but also to the fact that he does tend to let the other characters shine. And I think that's also a very good sort of tactic, because not only you are the Doctor, but you're trying to be the main focal point in the story, and you're the only person to keep the viewer engaged. Because not only I really love William Hartnell's performance as the Doctor, like he's fully into the role. Like you watch Adventure in Space and Time, David Bradley is fantastic as William Hartnell, and the original William Hartnell, you could just see how happy he was to be the Doctor. Like even in the first 3 seasons, he was amazing. Fourth season, it's kind of slipped down. So let's just say that I think he's all right as one, shall we say, the one that started off. Actually, no, I'm going to change it. I'm going to put fantastic because it did start off the legacy of Doctor Who. Without the first Doctor and without a good, solid first Doctor, you won't get anywhere else. And that's the truth. That's how you create fan base. If you didn't have a good, say, I don't know, if you didn't have a good Star Wars movie, for instance, if A New Hope never made a good impact on people, then why would Star Wars create then, The Empire Strikes Back, and then everyone now loves, and it's now started the whole fan base. There's always a start for everything. Second Doctor, fantastic, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Just that comedy, that light-hearted comedy, if it's heavily or whether it's just mild, he is like the most funniest Doctor you can have, besides the other options. But I like the fact that he doesn't take everything too seriously. He has fun, and I think that's the main thing. Not only with every single encounter he's had with every villain or every sort of encounter with Doctor Who, ever. He's always had a blast. He's always had a smile on his face. He's never been angry. He's always been a bit soppy or a bit upset or a bit sulky every now and again, but at least he enjoys himself. Patrick Troughton just nails it like a knife through butter. He just honestly nails the role. So I think Patrick Troughton, for his favourite TARDIS team, I'm not one to say, but I did like Victoria, Jamie, and the Doctor. I think that's my favourite TARDIS team with him. To the point, I think I do feel bad on Victoria, and this is one of the reasons why I liked View from the Deep that much. And this is the reason why I have to say, I think I'm going a bit off topic here. I kind of prefer Victoria's departure rather than Joe Grant's departure. Because when you compare the Doctors, like Patrick Troughton is fantastic, and John Pertwee is obviously up there as one definitely I always watch. I think, to be honest, he goes in the best. The difference is, I think, when Victoria joined the TARDIS team, you saw the amount of terror she suffered through the Cybermen, the Daleks, the Yeti, the View from the Deep creature, the Ice Warriors. She's never ever had one episode where she feels free, she feels comfortable. Whereas Joe Grant, she's had a couple of stories where she feels really, really confident, she feels really happy. And I thought the departure of Victoria was a lot more impacting than Joe Grant's departure, because this is the fact that of a companion like Victoria, she was given journeys where it's been roadblock after roadblock, villain after villain after villain, and it's always been, dark stories that have always, cursed her. When her time in Doctor Who, started to fizzle out, I think everyone, especially me, when watching View from the Deep in animation, makes you really appreciate Victoria as a companion, because I think she was treated horribly for the fact that she got stories after story with terror after terror, danger after danger. Whereas when you look at Joe Grant with the Doctor, sometimes you see Joe Grant with, a smile on her face, and she's living free to her fullest. She's having a blast. She's enjoying herself. And I kind of feel a bit sorry for, Victoria not to be appreciated like that. So that's one of the things I've got to say. I think Patrick Troughton is such of an emotional character. And when you think about John Pertwee as a Doctor, boy, he is everything from emotional to hard-hitting to that sort of father figure within the Unit family. And no wonder why they sort of gave Unit, a more bigger brand, because it was not only for the place for the Doctor to have a family, but also to make new friends. Liz Shaw, Joe Grant, Sarah Jane, and then have this amazing relationship with the Brigadier, sort of like a Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes sort of relationship. Like they feed off back from each other. They may get into argues because that's who they are, but they always have their constant respect from each other. And especially what made his era really defining, he also had a brilliant morality, as in the Master, which I think Roger Delgado also elevated John Pertwee's, character to new heights. Because when you've got somebody as good as you, it makes you look like, you know what you're doing. You know how good you are. But with this other person working alongside you, this is making you look like an absolute better doctor than Troughton or even William Hartnell. That's why I think the Master is also heavily crucial when it comes to the character development of John Pertwee's Doctor, from being, this cosmic hobo character to being very stern, very content, very powerful with his words, with his dialogue, and especially with his action, his Venusian karate, or his poses, his sort of sarcasm here is it's quite nice. It's very light sarcasm, and you've got these sort of like funny moments where, Doctor, you're just being silly. What's wrong with being childish? I like being childish. And then we come up to the most childish Doctor there is, but still loves being childish to this day, Tom Baker. One of the elite doctors of the entirety of history. What most people's favorite Doctor. He has that aura when you walk past him or when you see him on screen. There's like this. He's your big friend. He's like this big, lovely, cuddly bear. Like, you just want to hug him. You just want to, greet him in the best possible way. Like, he doesn't get angry at you. Like, I could see William Hartnell get angry at you if you kind of pissed him off in some way. But if you pissed off Tom Baker, he'd be like, "Oh, don't worry. I'm just Tom Baker, and I loved being who I am." That's exactly who he be. He just be himself. And I think for a doctor like him, he has all of the ingredients to make up that serious when he needs to be serious at the right time. He also learns how to be at least emotional when he needs to be. He's learning, he's compassionate, but also he does learn to the fact that when characters do die, like, he doesn't just stand there and think, this is my fault. He just lets it be, because to the fact that when Doctor Who characters die in the classic series, some of them are built up massively, and some of them are just left to the side. But then the Doctor does fundamentally one of the most important things as the Fourth Doctor. He moves on. And do you know why he moves on? To have more fun, more adventures. He never feels sorrow. He never feels like guilt when, unfortunately, he couldn't save somebody. He respects those characters and gives them death with honor, but he moves on. Because then we can see him being happy, cheerful, funny Tom Baker. That's who we love. P. Davison next. I'm going to put him in all right, even though the transaction of Tom Baker to Peter Davison really made people question Peter Davison. And I've got to say, I was questionable of his character, especially to the fact that it was different. And he looked incredibly young, and you thought, maybe he's just too young. And I don't think you can be too young to play the Doctor. He was ravishing. He was handsome. He also had a sort of like something about him that he made him question himself a lot, because he always thought highly of himself. But then to the point when he really thought, maybe I shouldn't act this way, because I think I kind of see myself better than this. And he's got brilliant heroic notes in his character. He brings sort of like a warm feeling to the story. Like, he gives everyone that sort of like light-hearted humor in a way. He tries to be funny in a way, but he doesn't pull it off necessarily. But I think he gives it a go. And I do think that he's got some gems within his era. So that's the way I see Peter Davison. Probably a brilliant Doctor. Obviously, he's the one Doctor who's got a bloody vegetable on his costume, which, to be honest, celery is not a bad choice. I don't mind being a potato, because who knows? I love potatoes. If ever that's the day. Alex, what do you want for C? No, baked potato power. If ever that's the case, I wonder if the potato ever had a special weapon. Like, I don't know. Obviously, the celery will grow, I don't know, pink or like, no, not pink. Pink celery. No, like the celery will turn a different color depending on the gas. If my potato felt heavier or lighter, maybe we could do, I don't know, some density, sort of gravity sort of testing. I don't know. It's sort of like Tom Baker's yo-yo. Sort of think about where how can include a potato in Doctor Who. Oh, that's moved by food. This is the reason why I'm a chef, and I'm constantly thinking of food. Right then, Colin Baker. All right again, because not only I appreciate for the fact that he did a lot of work, throughout, he only had a limited amount of stories. His Big Finish work though is incredible, but I sort of haven't seen a lot of his work on Big Finish. That's the reason why I don't rate him as highly. But I do think that he has a lot of stern qualities. He's very firm. He's very precise. He's very vindictive sometimes. Not when he has to be, but when he, comes out of the blue. Sometimes he questions his own companions. Sometimes he questions himself. He tries to have a laugh. He has that sarcastic tone of wanting to be the most important man in the room, and then sort of he gives out some of the most obvious lines ever, and he's like, this button here, Doctor. Which one has the big red button? This one, Doctor. That's the one. And literally just gets straight to the point. But yeah, he likes to think a lot. But I do like Colin Baker to some extent. Sylvester McCoy. I do think, though, it does look a bit weird how I'm putting all of the all right categories with all the 80s Doctors, and then I'm putting fantastic ones with the 1960s, and I'm putting the best with the 70s. And that's just saying that the 70s, I think it's just a better overall watchable experience of Doctor Who. A lot of adults brought up with the 70s era of Doctor Who, honestly. The 80s is when I think they sort of went downhill because not only the writing was getting a bit aging, but I think the characters were more or less important, or the story arc just didn't. The story arcs never really had a firm sort of grip on where they wanted to go. The 70s always wanted to go further, but the 80s kind of took a lot more precautions on what they wanted to do, especially with the budget that they were on, and also the fact that the 80s, especially a lot of shows were in the 80s besides Doctor Who, and a lot of people were watching the 80s shows rather than Doctor Who in the 80s. So that might be something. But I think in the 70s, everyone was watching Doctor Who. For sure. Everyone was watching Doctor Who. That's why most people loved it. Like I say, I love Sylvester McCoy because the fact is he's like this. Your creator, Davros, is dead. That's the best I can pull off my Sylvester McCoy accent, and I do apologize if anyone thinks that was absolutely horrible. My apologies. I still think that he has this incredible sort of aura about him. He questions his own footwear sometimes, and he questions, like, he tastes the floor. He tastes like, oh, we may not be on Earth, but this may not look like Earth. And, he questions himself a lot, in the best possible way. He's funny in the most sort of childish way, not as in like, he gathers around children. He sort of stays around from the background from kids, but he does funny moments in his own way, which I really appreciate for the fact that in his commitment, and to the fact that I love to the fact where he was absolutely funny. If you've ever seen Survival, go on the outtakes. You'd see you'd see Sylvester McCoy shouting to Ace, "No, Ace, no, don't run, stand still." And then Ace just runs off and like, "Stand still, can anyone just epic stand still? I don't know how many times I need to tell you, you moved." And he jumps into sound, "You moved." I completely look like a fool right now on my live stream. That's the one thing that I always look back on when it comes to Survival. I always want the outtake to be there in the actual story. I just love Sylvester. He's good. Oh gosh, love Sylvester. Paul McGann, all right. Brilliant actor. Can't fault him. I think I've met Pete Davidson, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, and Paul McGann. Those are the 4 Doctors that I've met. And I know I've put them in all right, only because I think it's just to the fact that I like what they did. Not to the fact that I think, nah, they're okay doctors. No, they are really good doctors, just not really well recognized. I think it's not only the actor's fault. I think it's mainly where their characters sort of went. They weren't sort of like the eye-catching sort of doctors. They were more like, they were there, but it was your choice to be interacting with them, or it was your choice to focus on other things. I think that's what, why I think the 80s sort of get ranked lower. It's whether you've got the attention to like these doctors, or whether you're going to be highly invested in them. That's the truth, really, when it comes to all doctors. There's certain doctors that you like the look of because you know their names. And if you know their names, you know what they've done in the past. Whether it's been past acting roles, you know what they've done as an actor. However, certainly for the 80s, I think they deserve a lot more credit for not only just doing their best with budget reasons, but giving it a go at their best. And even still, when Paul McGann just did that one movie, I still think Paul McGann would have loved to have a bigger chance to do Doctor Who on a massive scale, maybe for a series. However, I think he had other roles to attend to. I do think, though, the Big Finish has really increased Paul McGann to new heights. Paul McGann's a new, different actor right now. I mean, I've not heard every single audio that he's done in Big Finish, but he's bloody damn good. I say you that he's bloody damn good. Hmm. The War Doctor. The War Doctor for me, I'm going to put it just about bearable. And don't get me wrong, I don't despise him. I can't comment him on too much because I haven't seen his Big Finish stories, which I really, really need to watch listen to his Big Finish stuff because he is brilliant. I really like him, but I like that sort of mystery that he had, and I think I just get past it because, John Hurt, as obviously, because he passed away about 3 years ago, still to this day one of probably a brilliant actor that does many things. And when he became the War Doctor, it was like, do we trust him as canon? Do we count him as canon? And it's whether questioning that entire sort of concept, especially now that the Timeless Children's now wrecked that whole thing. But no, I do like John Hurt as the War Doctor. I just think if I've listened to more of his Big Finishes, I think I would probably rate him higher. But I think he just belongs there. Now, the modern Doctors, I'm going to name them simply as ninth goes in fantastic. Do you know why? I just want to say that he was just bloody fantastic. I don't need to say anything more about him. Do you know what? So are you all. You're all fantastic. See what I did there? I tried to do a little bit of pausing of the ways ending there, but my own little twist. But like I said, no, Doctor's bloody fantastic. We all want him to continue to do a second series, but I think he just wanted to do that first series to get the whole fan base brought back together. 2005, he brought a fan base like it was like the rocking fan base of Doctor Who now. People look back over on 2005 Doctor Who, they did some incredible stuff with the effects that they had, with the people they had to do the characters, and also to the fact that they had really good character storylines. To not only build them up as real people, but to build them up as real companions. And also the effects that they've got, the special effects, the visual effects, the production of it all. Wow. You really think that sometimes classic Who is outdated? Wait until you see 2006, 2005 Doctor Who. You'll be thinking, my gosh, I remember when I was watching as a kid. Yeah, it's like, no, now how you look now at Doctor Who is everything's HD, everything's high definition. Back then, they were literally trying to think, can we get 720 HD definition or something? Like, that's the best that they can do. And especially with the stories that he had, he made what he could within his time. David Tennant. David Tennant has got some question marks. Tough. I don't know, because I don't mind David Tennant, actor-wise. He's the best in the business. As the Doctor, most people would recognise him as the Doctor, so I've got to put him in first. I do like what he's done with the Time Lord Victoria stuff. I think, with his character revolving around Time Lord Victorious and that quote Time Lord Victorious, I think it's a brilliant sort of spin-off for Doctor Who to release new audios, new comic strips, new clips. I was watching just before I did this live stream, I was watching the second episode of the Dalek trilogy, where it was literally just the Daleks just given a lot of dialogue. It was not just the fact that the Daleks were going exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. No, it was actually like they gave the Daleks a bit of storyline, like not just a little bit of storyline, like a full lot of dialogue. Like you wouldn't think that these Daleks would ever have it in them to even have these, I don't know, feelings. Like it actually made the Daleks feel more like Daleks, more like characters. And like each Dalek has got their own little personality about them. I highly recommend you give them a watch, because even though the Dalek Edward does look a bit off here and there, I've got to say, he does have some impressive moments. And I don't really want to spoil it, but I think when you watch it, you'll think this is definitely not your ideal or your go-to Dalek story. This is something different, but it works. It's a Dalek story just by itself with no Doctor. And yet that may think, oh, no Doctor in it, I'm not gonna watch it. But no, please give it a watch, because it's actually really good. And if you love the Daleks that much, instead of them going exterminate, exterminate all the time, give them more words, give them a little bit more to build themselves up. You may learn something. Yeah, but like I said, David Tennant, best actor in the business, as his Doctor. I did like what he did, what Russell T Davies did to him at the end of Time. That was a bit, a bit serious, a bit seamless, to be honest. But no, he is grand. He is elite. I can't lie. He really made everyone fall in love with him, and like literally fall in love with the Doctor. Like everyone wanted to, everyone wanted to kiss him. Everyone wanted to hug him. Everyone wanted to be around him. Gosh. The Doctor literally owned Doctor Who throughout 2006 to 2010, and even still 2011 when Doctor Who was going on with Matt Smith. People were talking about, oh, remember David Tennant as the Doctor? Everyone's now talking about him. Forget about Matt Smith, and that's who we're going on to next, who I think deserves to be fantastic. Matt Smith basically gave the 50th some actual depth to it. Like, not only his series, also his Doctor, was the fact that he wrote runs with wacky wavy hands, but to the fact that he was different to most younger Doctors. Like he was ravishing, he was handsome, he had that serious gutsy heart and gutting performance of like a champion. It's like that he does everything, like all the stunts were done by him. He made everything all his own. His hair was amazing. He still wasn't ginger, which we all wanted him to be ginger. But for all of the reasons, I really loved the fact that he gave his all and gave us a brilliant 50th anniversary special. Just wait until the 100th 50th special or a 60th anniversary special, which 3 years later, can I see Christopher Eccleston, Matt Smith, David Tennant, Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker coming back to do one entire show? Yeah, I can see that. Capaldi don't might take some persuasion, because let's just say this is obviously biased because this is my list, obviously, but you've clearly seen why I've put Capaldi in there as the best actor to play the Doctor personally. Not only because he has this aura of being cold yet being still venomous. He's quite venomous in series A, you've got to imagine. Like, he's quite sinister. He's quite anticlimactic sometimes. He sometimes literally takes sarcasm to the little edge, like when you're not supposed to, but he goes to that extra mile. And sometimes he listens to all these characters and be like, oh, can you please just hurry up or I hate you with my show? And it's literally not like he doesn't want to listen. He's very blunt. He's very arrogant. And then when you see the sort of the deterioration of his cold exterior mixed in with that Series 9 sort of like warm hotness and, the sort of the war speech in the Zygon inversion, that built him up so well. Not only by the characters around him, but the fact that I think they needed to give him a little bit more. But I think what they had was really good. So a lot of people disagree with me, but I still think that he's the best Doctor to probably affect my lifetime, because I remember watching Capaldi, especially when it came to the end of Series 9, and I was revising for my GCSEs. And do you know what helped me? I watched Series 8, Series 9 all over again. And during every time I was like revising for exams, like 2016 when I did GCSEs, Capaldi was always there on my wall to be like, you've made many mistakes. You've made many mistakes during school. Here's your exam, and here's about time you do something about it, and you smash this exam. And I gave it my all. Like, that gave me some motivation to actually go for it. Go for it and achieve what I needed to achieve. That's what I have to say about Capaldi. He really impacted on not only my sort of credentials as how I am right now, it also impacted just to the fact that he's a bloody good actor. Whether he's Malcolm Tucker, whether he's shouting to across the room, like, right, everybody, it's an epic lockdown. Everyone, switch off your phones. Do not use the phones. No pissing emails. Get off your phone care. Now. You'll be probably thinking, right then, everyone, we're in a bloody lockdown again. I can't believe it. I knew this was bloody happening. It's Malcolm Tucker again. He'll be swearing to the fact that we've gone into a second lockdown. It's like, gosh, do I have to put on the suit again? Do I have to hit you with my shoe, Boris? I can see Malcolm Tucker. Make this happen, somebody. Malcolm Tucker versus Boris Johnson. I'd like to see if the fact that Malcolm Tucker goes literally overboard with this COVID situation. And literally, I don't know, maybe does a better job than Boris. I mean, I can definitely see that happening. And then last but not least, I'm going to say for Jodie, for this moment in time, I'm going to put in just about bearable. Because we haven't seen a lot of her. We've only seen 2 series. Her first series had up and downs. Series 12 was better. But the ending, though, Jesus Christ, it made me realise that I don't even have to look at Jodie Whittaker and think she's in danger. She has to be forced in this position to regenerate, to do these things, because all I now know is that Jodie Whittaker, she's powerful, she's immortal, she can never die, because what happens when regeneration time comes around? I'm not in the one, thinking to myself, oh, no, she's going to regenerate. I'm like, she regenerated. So what? Like, no one gives a damn anymore. That's the reason why Christian Bale cursed Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, because of that finale. Not just saying that, oh, these Doctors here, they don't mean anything. So Doctors 1 to 12, oh, those numbers don't exist anymore. You don't have to write now to those numbers anymore. You're just a number. These Doctors now are just a number. And when you think about that, they're not just a number. William Hartnell will say to himself, I am the first Doctor. Whereas Chris Chibnall will say, no, but there's this one other Doctor that was the first, but you're not the first. You're just the so-called fifth, like so-called original Doctor. It's made the whole thing like you may be a Doctor, but I am the Doctor, the definite article, the original, you might say. There's no original now. The original now is not this kid who's now decided to, I don't know, share the secret of regeneration. We all saw that. Do we believe it? Do we class it as canon? Who's to say? But does it really impact on how we see Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor? Of all the things nowadays, it's just, really hard now to even have any sort of like any clear understanding of who's the first, who's the next, and with all of these Doctors here, do you now discard everything that they've done? They've made the 9th Doctor the 9th Doctor. You can't decide to change Christopher Eccleston into, we'll give him a random number. But he's not going to be now just Mr. Number Doctor. He's the number 9 Doctor. End of. You can't change these Doctors for the numbers that they've had, for the careers that they've grown, for the stories that they've produced, and for the fact that they've told amazing stories. Now I look at these Doctors and think, these are the Doctors that started off everyone's love for Doctor Who. And now you're telling us that there's more Doctors before that and after that, and these Doctors are here just because we want to give a little bit more continuity. You want to curse continuity. And I promise not to get into a rant, but I hope you guys understand. And this is kind of how I see. I never rank any of the Doctors in the bin because they don't deserve the bin. I just think, how do you see this list now? How do you see this list as not only Doctors 1 to 11? No, not 1 to 11. 1 to 13, including the War Doctor. Do you think that these Doctors deserve their number? Do they deserve their legacy? Or do they think there's other Doctors beyond that and before them? So their numbers are like, again, disappear, dispersed in the universe, like, you know, not even bothered. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to catch up on these questions. I mean, I've literally gone through all of these lots, and I bet you've not said, Alex, you've not replied to my comments. Please reply to my comments. Gosh, it feels like I've literally just ignored all of you guys, and I really am sorry. Oh, get in, Alex. I am so happy. As soon as I saw you with that little comments, how are you? I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you can join me. Oh, I'm happy. I am very, very happy. I thought I was ever going to be bored and be talking to myself, but apparently there's another Alex in the room. Well, not in the room, but virtually. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah. I need to have a look at these. Where did I miss off? Yeah, there was there. I was wondering where I was going to put Capaldi. Well, what do you think? I was going to put him first. In all honesty, I've digged myself into a big hole. I've put Capaldi in there for a reason. Yeah, I put Pertwee in the best for the reasons that he kind of saved the 70s. Well, started the 70s and kind of saved what was over from the 1960s. So I think he, definitely goes into the best, not only just to be a really good actor to bring people into the show, but, to build up that fan base once again and give the 70s that majority domination of people loving Doctor Who as the show to watch. All of you guys are fantastic. I'll rank all of you into the best / fantastic. None of you are getting in the bin. I know that for sure. Unless you say anything about Destiny of the Daleks and you think that's a better story than any other Doctor Who story you've seen, then you might be in trouble. I might just put you in just about bearable if you're lucky. if you're lucky. Yeah, it does seem like the gang is here. Hang on, I was thinking here, like, we all have, Doctor Who teams and crews throughout the entirety of the entirety history of Doctor Who. Do you think, as a question to all of you here, do you think the word fam, as in family, used by Jodie Whittaker, do you think it works? Like, I'm slowly starting to think it kind of works. I mean, I don't know if she's trying to be down with the kids or something. I don't know. Like, if she's trying to be down with the kids, like, I find it a bit cringy. Not like the fact I'll call the TARDIS team as "come on team, come on crew." Like, that's fine. But if you give the team, like, I don't know, a name, or I don't know, a sort of like a secret code name, like, I don't mind. Like, that could work. But I think it's still a very good. I love this stream, by the way. I mean, let's just say that I've had a blast doing this stream, and I've never ever been bored doing this live stream, and especially now you guys are coming in, I'm going to stay on for a bit longer. I did say I was going to stay on for 2 hours. However, thinking about it now, I'm going to probably stay on for another hour, and we might try and end it. I'm going to suggest, what would you like me to do? I've got either, which tier list would you like me to do first, or as the last one to do? Would you like me to do all of the modern Doctor Who stories ranked in a tier from Series 1 to Series 12? Would you like me to do all of the 70s Doctor Who stories from Tom Baker's to John Pertwee's era? Would you like me to do that? Or, differently, would you like me to go beyond that and go for Marvel movies? Would you like me to rank them? So those are the 3 options that I'm going to give you as probably the last sort of, tier list that I'm going to do. Because I think I did a long one, especially that 1960s. I kind of left a couple of people in the dust thinking, Alex, please look at my comments. Please share it on the chat. Like I am. Let's see. Yeah. They are struggling to replace it. I think, like, don't ever use the word partner, because it feels like that the Doctor's now got a partner. Now, the Doctors have decided to, I don't know, hire me as the new partner. I'm only joking. No. I've always known she has good taste in men. I don't think she likes me. No. Especially if I'm going to put her in just about bearable in these lists. How is she going to like me? I'm kind of backing myself in the corner now. I'm actually chancing myself now. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. 70s. Who else wants 70s? Or who do we like? I've got a couple of guilty pleasures on the 70s. If you've joined the stream already, I've already done the 60s, and I've already mentioned a couple of the 80s stories that I didn't really create a list for the 80s. I've only just said only of the couple of 80s stories that sort of stand out to me throughout the 80s era were like Airshock, The Visitation, Arc of Infinity, The King's Demons, The Five Doctors. I don't mind the Black Garden trilogy, just I don't mind if you call the Black Garden trilogy, good. I just don't go back to it. Resurrection of the Daleks, Caves of Randazani. You've got the Attack of the Cybermen from Collins' era, The Vengeance on Varos, Two Doctors, Revelation, Trial of a Time Lord. I really like Trial of a Time Lord. And then Sylvester McCoy's era, Paradise Towers, Great Show in the Galaxy, Remembrance. Who doesn't love Remembrance? Silver Nemesis I quite like. It's okay, I guess. Battlefield is good. Ghostlight, don't mind Ghostlight, okay. And Curse of Fenric and Survival. Those are the 80 stories that I sort of look back in that era, and I think, that's sort of the stories that I tend to go for. But I don't mind going for these on-off stories here and there, like especially the Mara Tales, Time Flight, Mark of the Rani, Dragonfire, like these sort of 80s stories. There are some good stories. Frontios is a good one, actually. I really like Frontios because I think not only has a darkish tone to it, which is quite interesting for a Doctor Who story for that to have. Frontios is a good one. I haven't seen it in a long time. I might go rewatch tonight. Let's have a look at these. Yes, I remember that, Adam. Was that when we were searching for Series 10? I think it might have been. Did we go for looking for Series 10 at one time? We were in HMV one time, and we were looking for Series 10, the complete box set. Adam, you got it on Blu-ray. I've got it on the regular standard definition on DVD. And I remembered we were looking through Doctor Who posters, and there was one with Nardole on the front. And the next thing you know, we were thinking, wait, hang on. There's a poo emoji next to it. And I was thinking, is this the equivalent of Nardole here? Like, me and Adam were thinking, You're not wrong. Look, I love Nardole. He's on bloody Bake Off. I'm seeing Matt Lucas on Bake Off, and it's like, can you please be Nardole just for pissing once? I love you, Nardole. But then again, he'll just say to poor Hollywood, I have full permission to kick your ass and to eat your scone. If ever Nardole made a return on Bake Off or Doctor Who, I think there'll be a chance of Joe to be like, hello, short little man, bald head, what are you doing? I am not who you think. I'm your deadly enemy. I am Nardole. I should not do that. This is going on YouTube. This is all going to be staying on YouTube now. But no, I'm having a blast. Right then, it looks like we're going to do the 70s. Okay, because let me warn you, the episodes I've got lined up for you from the modern era, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of Modern Who episodes. It's literally episode by episode. Let me share my screen. Again, I can share my screen on this amazing server. You know, this server here, BeLive.com, is actually helping me a lot when it comes to for me to share my screen, just like this. Where hey, like this is all of the episodes from the modern era, and we'll be here all night doing all this lot. So we won't be doing that. Instead, we will be doing the 70s. Yes, Bake Off is life. Well, like I said, I haven't watched Bake Off for a long time. I've been keeping up with this series because I think it's just the fact that Nardole's in it and the fact that he tries to the fact that he adds this comedy value to Bake Off that I think is just fantastic sometimes. Yeah, I'm just going to show my screen. Yeah, I get to do so much creative with this live stream. I can add people as guests. Like, that's the thing I can do. I can send people a link or something to, you know, engage people into the live stream. I mean, I'd like to try and do it at some point. Like, you know, if you guys have a built-in webcam or I don't know, like a camera built into your computer or your system, I can send you a link and you can join the live stream with me. Like, it's just, this live stream is sort of different to me because it's better than the YouTube live stream, because on the YouTube, you can't share your screen like this. And it makes everything so much harder than it was before. So I can add a guest. I can, like, you know, add text onto the screen. I can add some sort of background. Like, I don't know. I can change, like, say, the overlapping of the background, say, the theme, say, like, I can apply like this. See, I can just change it like this. So it's just a way that I can adapt to changing the screen to fit, you know, to fit the needs. Right, let's go to this. There we go. That's it. Okay. I'm gonna try and make the. Have I got it on a good zoom setting? Yeah, we'll make it like that. Yeah, that's good. Just gonna check it again. I just like to double check just to make sure that the quality is okay. And the main thing is that you can see it, because if you can't see it, then there's no point for me to share it. So yeah. Well, Charlie, the thing is, if you've got a webcam on your iPad, or you've got a built-in camera with your iPad, you're more than happy. I mean, I could send a link. We can try it. We'll try this as an experiment. I know you guys have got, you know, we're all in a group chat at some point. I could send a link. Would you like me to do it, guys? Comment down below. Would you like me to send a link to you, so if you want to join this live stream? I mean, it'd be nice if you could. Just, you know, if you've got a built-in webcam, that is, you're more than happy to join. I can send you a link. I'll just give you a bit of time to respond. It's literally, I've just had a Sprite all day. That's all I've had. Classic lemonade, and it's still keeping me going. I promised to my parents I wasn't going to stay on here for long, but now since you're bringing me with more ideas, it thinks I'm telling myself that I want to stay on this live stream for another hour, and I hope they don't mind. Like, I mean, the football was nearly going to start, so I'll probably make it to 5 o'clock, surely. I'm sure it works on phone. I hope so. All right then. I'll give you guys I'll share this link. I'll copy it onto Facebook. Okay. I'll just send over the link. Click on it, and I hope you can join from that. I think when you click the link, I think you can join. Okay. Okay, guys. In the on our messenger, can you go on to Charlie? The recent chat that we've got, Charlie, Aaron, and all that. We haven't got a name, which I think we should get a name soon. I'm gonna paste in the link. Press that, and you'll be added as a guest with your camera involved. Yeah. Just click the link. Click the link, guys. I've just sent it in the chat. Click the link, and it should come up with you can join. I've never done this before. I'd just like to, give it a go. I hope the connection is good, because I don't want the connection going out of phase. So yeah, all you need to do, guys, is just click the link that I've sent in Messenger. Obviously, for the people who haven't got this, then try in the chat. Type down if it's not working, then we can always try again another time. I mean, it's a live stream that I haven't done for quite some time, and especially since it is a new software, it's brand new with BeLive .tv. It's actually a really, really good software. So if you can't join, then I'll hopefully find a way to do so. We'll just have to try multiple streams and just keep on trying. Yeah. But anyway, while I'm waiting for you guys to join, I'll get started with this then, this tier list for the 70s era. So, again, hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Adam? You're going live now, Adam. Adam, can you see me? Adam? Can you hear me? Giving you a wave. Oh, Crash Bandicoot.
No.
No? Hang on. Let me hide that for the time being. Okay, that was weird. Don't know what happened there. I think I saw my friend. He unfortunately couldn't get the sound. I mean, I don't think he could hear me. That was the problem. Yeah. Let me have a look. I'm frozen. Not really. I don't know. It might be the connection or something. Yeah. Okay. Right, it's about to join. Hello? Brilliant. Fantastic. You can hear me loud and clear. Right, okay. It works. Brilliant. Right then. I'll show you into the stream, man.
A minute, mate. I'm just gonna get a cup of tea.
Cool. No worries. Take your time. Nice one. No worries. No, it's good to have you, Adam. Guys, well, the fact is, this live stream I sometimes go a bit topsy turvy and I'll say whatever. But anyway, like I said, for anyone who's just joined this stream or whoever's watching the stream, I've literally just got my friend on, and we're gonna, try and interact. This is a new stream, and I'm just trying to just see how this stream works. And I think, with this stream, if you go onto, I'll leave the link in the description so you can go and make your own live streams yourself. It's a website called Be Live Studio. Type that in and you'll be brought up to a page where you can do your own live stream. You'll get shown how to do this. Like look on YouTube. Look on YouTube tutorials; they will help you out. I've been learning all across the last sort of couple of days, just trying to get this sorted. And actually, it looks quite nice. Let me show you. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. I'm having the exact opposite. I'm literally freezing. I'm having a cold drink. That's me just being cold. Right then, I'll show you into the stream, putting you on camera now.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
this time we're not
How are you
frozen.
all? Yeah, we're not frozen this time.
Yeah, yeah, and I get to move around the screens like doing this. Like I get to have a lot of fun.
I'm really impressed with where you found this software. Because
I found it on the internet.
oh, did you? No,
The,
no, it's not just that. It's not just that you got it for free. Because I remember when I was getting a software like that, I had to buy it.
no, you don't have to buy it. Literally, internet is free. Unless the internet person who's watching this, the internet is for free. So I'm going to put you on the master spell. You are giving this away for free, aren't you? You will obey me. As if ever there's more master episodes within this. So, like I said, I've got tier lists already set up. I did this last night thinking I was going to do a lot of when it comes to tier lists, but to be honest, I've actually done only two, but now we're going to do a third one to finish off the live stream. I'm glad you guys have joined. I've just felt so happy doing this all again. Great to have a laugh. Me talking to myself, and now I get to talk to you, Adam. Oh, almost cut you out.
Definitely.
What's happening in this? You paid one time and then just clicked off.
I don't know. I think even Rob was on here as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe they had to do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably. I know he's been playing Stars at the minute, so he's probably going to play that something.
Well, Charlie just says he just wants to resend the link, but the link's already in. Links. Give me 1 sec. Yeah. So, might as well start off with this tier list then of us, the 70s era. All of these stories are in kind of random order. So, let's start off with Ark in Space. Where are you thinking of putting it? We've got the tiers of the best, fantastic, all right, just about bearable, and get in the bin.
Oh God. The thing is with the Ark in Space, I know a lot of people really love that one. I think it's I'm not saying it's bad, but
Hmm.
I think it's slightly underrated.
You reckon?
Despite, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is good because it was a cheap budget they had though, but they still made it good. I
Hmm.
do like it for that. But yeah, I'll just say it's just good. I'll say that.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Okay. I've just stopped the screen for you so we can actually go through this list.
All right.
Oh, don't worry. I'll put your face back on screen in all good
Mm,
time, Adam. I hope you're just having a blast with me.
yeah,
So
I am. Yeah.
I will just put argument space in fantastic, still up there. Just obviously, I understand the fact with low budget stories, they come out with some absolute gems, and even still, I think the actual, you know, they all did this in studio work, it was a low studio sort of shoot of a story, but they sort of made it kind of work. You know, I think they kind of made it into what it was. So yeah,
Mm,
next up we've got Pyramids of Mars. Where are we going with that one then?
Pairs of Mars. Oh, that's one of the classics. I love that one.
Should we say
Um,
the best?
yeah, I like to put it as best. I
Yeah,
think it's a really good one with Sutek.
Sutek the Destroyer. He always sounds like he's
Sutek the
sort of like
Destroyer.
cough sweet in his throat, and it's like
Mm,
like it's like he's trying to get up his words. I was thinking the doctor should have said something like, "Come on, speak up, come on here.
I can't hear you.
I
Just
cannot
get
hear
Tom
you."
going. Ah!
Yeah. Oh, I think we might get Charlie here. Let's hope so. Charlie, can you hear me? Charlie,
You might have to rejoin it because I had that problem too.
I think it's frozen. You might have to rejoin, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I've just got a text off my phone saying that I've used 80% of my data off. I don't mean it like badly,
Oh,
so
oh, is it me?
it's okay. No. It's just that I've got no I've got no Wi-Fi in here yet,
Oh,
and I've just been
crap.
using my data. Yeah,
Oh,
but
and YouTube takes a
it's
lot of my
okay.
data. Oh, mate, I'm incredibly sorry. I hope I'm not going to use a lot, mate.
It's no. It's fine. I've I had to pay a really big. My phone bill was about 100 quid last time, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? And then I kept on buying data, and that just kind of like went up on my budget. It's like, oh right.
Right then. Next up, Time Monster. That's an interesting one. Um, it was the fact that they brought something like called Tom Tits, and the doctor made some sort of device with household items, which might be the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my life. Um,
I I need to finish that one off. I was halfway through it, but I thought it was all right from what I've seen.
well, for what I've seen, I think it just deserves just about bearable.
Mm,
Just about bearable, only because the way I've sort of done it, like, is like the best obviously is the elite tier. The fantastic tier is like one of the standout favorites, just not best tier. All right, it's like an underrated
yeah,
tier that you really enjoy. Bearable, it's like if
yeah,
you don't mind this one and get in the bin is clear as day. You put it in the bin. You don't want to see it. You don't want to watch it.
mm,
There'll be a
yeah.
couple of them here, but it'll be fun. Sontaran Experiment. This is the two-parter. This was in the lead up to the genesis of the Daleks. They had to go down.
Oh,
They had to go down to some sort of like battle, like playing field. Like they had to go to some sort of like, they had to climb a couple of rocks, and they had, and in Sontaran interfering.
yeah. Sorry, which one did you say again?
the Sontaran experiment. Where we're going to go with this one? Do we say all right? Because it's a good two-parter.
Yeah, it is a good two-part. It's a nice and quick one.
Yeah, it goes quite quick, and that was the story that Tom Baker.
He felt, he hurt himself, didn't
he did. Like that was certainly one that caused a bit of a bruising, and I think he had to get his stunt double to finish off the rest of the scenes.
Yeah,
Well, especially like you know, go back on the special features of that DVD, you'll probably see why. You know,
yeah.
Invasion of Time. This is the one with the Sontarans from.
That was the last Doctor Who classic I've watched. That was
Really?
the last. Yeah, that was the last one I watched.
Wow.
It's all right. It's not quite low, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Do you not think that at some point, did you think that the Doctor acted like a dick? Like episode 1, he literally bombarded into the room. I want this. I want that. You will tell me that I am the rightly leader of Gallifrey.
Yeah.
You were watching. You think, what the hell is the Doctor doing? He's so out of character.
Yeah. I don't know. It was probably that he must have been pissed off with the Time Lords for some reason. Sorry, I know you said that you can't have, you don't want to do bad language, and they're doing their best not to.
I've said wank anyway, so tough. So too late now. I'm gonna say it's all right because I did like. Well, did you still laugh to the fact that remember when the Sontarans were going near the pool? One of them slipped. That made me funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
In all honesty, it had a sort of tinge of like, if he would have landed so much, if he landed awkwardly, he would have fallen on his face and landed straight into the pool.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think it was a wee story just to say, you know, because that was Leela's last story with the Fourth Doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Leela in Big Finish. I think she's brilliant.
She's grand. I really like her. I think, in all honesty, I think this tier list sort of sums up to the fact that the TV characters, you know, were sort of there, but they also had some good, like, I don't know, character moments within those stories. Whereas Big Finish, they build them up to be real people. Yeah, which I think is the big thing. The big thing with Big Finish is the fact that they make themselves to be real good companions, as in real companions, not like, you know, the ones that you think, you know, you think immediately Liz Shaw's a scientist, but no, she can be so much better than just a scientist.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, next one. Well, we're going for the second story of the Key to Time season, and
the Pirate Planet.
And for anyone listening, I don't care what anyone says about the Pirate Planet, or if you don't think that the Pirate Planet is good enough, I think a lot of people will just say it's about bearable. I'm just going to say this and just put it. It belongs in the best tier.
you know what, Alex? You know what, Alex? I agree with you. I agree with you there, Alex. The Pirate Planet is a good story.
Everyone would be like what? Like, all right, okay, we all think it's a good story, but you think it's the best? If you think, they'll be saying, Alex, you on drugs or something? Like, what has been spoken before the live stream? You've been thinking Pirate Planet is the best. Come on.
Come on.
I've got to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I did like.
I'm gonna have to call you. I'm gonna have to end the call now, mate. I'm getting a phone call.
All right.
Great, Steve. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Alex. Bye.
Well, that happened, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. Can I get my? Okay. Okay, there we go. Right, I thought I lost myself there. I thought I lost myself there. Solo on. We'll show that in screen. There we go. That's it. We'll continue with this tier list and then we'll end it for today. Oh, I need to send. As long as the Red Boss ends up in Elite tier, I'll be fine. Oh yes, mate. Please feel free. It's in the remember our video chat that we had a couple of weeks ago. It's in that same chat. The link is in there. Please join. Feel free to join with me. I'm going to try and continue with a couple of these stories and just try and get through it all. Anyway, to everyone who's watching this right now, or to everyone who has just joined, or if you're watching this after when I've finished, then I hope you're enjoying this. Please smash the like button for me. And if you want me to continue my content, then drop me a comment down below. And also, if you do think that doing YouTube is the best thing to anybody right now, especially during this lockdown era, like, I still think doing YouTube is a good thing. And I would always like to just, do the best I can, but I can't deliver day after day, video after video. I just have to do the best I can do. So I can't guarantee a thing for long, but it is what it is. And I am glad to do this live stream for all of you guys because I have missed you. I have very missed you. And I'm sorry for banning you, YouTube. I'm really sorry. Anyway, let's continue. Now, Sharda, I'm going to go with, this is going in fantastic because I did like the fact that they tried something new with animating the animated version of Sharda. I think it's bloody brilliant. It's one of the stories that I never think that would actually be successful after when it's finished. I think it's just really, really damn clever. Like the prison planet, I think it's a brilliant concept. And it's got some great moments here and there. And, even though most of it's all animated, I think it flows really nicely. It's got some jagged bits and then it's got some emotional bits. I think it's really good. Next up, we've got Terror of the Zygons. This one's going in fantastic again. I think that Fantastic is going to have a lot of stories here. Swear on. There's going to be a lot of stories here. No, everyone's having a good time, and that's the main thing. Yeah. So next up, we've got the beginning of the 1970s era with Spearhead from Space. Spearhead from Space, we're going with the best. Because without that story, I very much doubt anyone would probably tune into 70s Doctor Who. And we all love 70s Doctor Who for a reason. And it's, one of the most enjoyable times to be alive as a Doctor Who fan. Without that one story, I think we would have lost everything of here, to be honest. And that's a real true fact. Ambassadors of Death. This is a good one here. Questions above the writing, definitely. But the action here is quite sublime. I find it incredibly underrated. But I'm going to put it in all right, only because it does drag out to a bit too long. There's one room that they always return into, and it's like they always return to the same room to pad out the story, and I get that. But it's also got some good moments, like the fact that the villains here, the ambassadors, they're not actually evil for the reason. They act in violence for self-defense, and that's kind of the thing that they do, which makes it all quite different. Claws of Axos. Watched this one quite recently with a friend, and I think we kind of enjoyed the Claws of Axos. I just like the fact that the monsters are just so damn creative, and it's the fact that they've gone for like a spaghetti sort of monster, but they've transformed it into the way like the Axons and Axonite. Oh, what was that? Didn't know what to do that. Yeah. So no, but the Master and the Doctor are brilliant in this. Are brilliant in this, and I really do enjoy both performances because not only they have incredible, dynamics between them both, but not only does the Master make the Doctor look good, the Doctor makes the Master look really good. So they throw off each other here and there, building their characters up to new heights. Which that's the reason why I think season 8 is so goddamn good, because it not only just builds up John Pertwee as a serious and important actor in Doctor Who, but also Roger Goddard and the fact that his performance as the Master, as the Moriarty to the Sherlock Holmes of Doctor Who, you sort of get this sort of rivalry, this intense rivalry that started between them both. And you get to see that in all of these different episodes. So yeah, Claws of Axos is a really good story, criminally underrated. Again, criminally underrated, we're going to go for the android invasion. The androids are brilliant. creepy in places. I like the abandoned village. The abandoned village makes everything feel like, wow, this is just completely like a dead town. Like you never would think this town to be abandoned, and you think everyone's being replaced there, and you don't know who's an android. It's always like remains a mystery, and especially what was it? Terry Nation actually wrote this one, which is quite a shock to many people, and it's not surprising enough how it's quite unfortunate how we get. I'm just looking at my phone here, just notifications. I'm not going to bother about that. Yeah, motivation is a good one. I enjoy it from time to time. Next up, Curse of Peladon. I'm going to get slated for this. I don't enjoy the Peladon stories. I enjoy one, but that's about it. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to do this, but get in the bin. That was a strong move, but I really don't like the Peladon stories. The worst I've got with this one is because they make the Ice Warriors so nice, and it's like you don't make the Ice Warriors nice. The Ice Warriors are threatening. You don't do that in this story, and it's a bit iffy. It's a bit slow. It's really slow. Slow to get into the whole pace. So yeah, not a big fan of that one actually. Tale of the Autons, I believe it is fantastic, and to everyone here, this is my favorite season 8 story with the Master, and it's his first story because not only introduces him as the Moriarty to the Dr. Sherlock Holmes, you also got the Dr. Watson, who's the Brigadier in the story, and then you got the young companion Joe Grant in it. I think it's the perfect story to not only introduce your Master, your companion, but also to introduce your new relationship of the Doctor and the Brigadier, but also this sort of intense sort of bickering sort of evil rivalry of the Doctor and the Master getting one up on each other, stealing dematerialization circuits, trying to spoil each other's plans, that sort of thing. And I love the uses of the plastic here. Like this story really makes everyone think that, excuse me, not only just shot with the dummies look threatening, but even like, I don't know, like, computer wires or telephone lines, even plastic dandelions, like or daffodils. Those sort of things can actually kill you, and even the things that the Master created to kill people in this episode. It impacts on a lot of us. I'm just gonna have a look on your comments. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Alex. Thank you. I love the content I make, and I always try and make it to be perfect. I just sometimes can't seem to do the videos on a daily basis. That's the problem I've got, and I try to rectify that as best I can, but I can't seem to do as much as I could do. Next up, Carnival of Monsters. Now, Charlie, I know you're watching this. You're probably thinking, please put it in the bin. Please put it in the bin. Oh, it deserves in there. But no, it's just bearable. Nearly got you there, Charlie. Nearly got you there. Yeah, Carnival of Monsters. On one off day, it becomes a good story. However, it's a bit tedious. Gotta say, it's tedious in places. City of Death. Oh, God. I think it deserves to be at the top of the best tier. I think it is elite. It is elite storytelling at its finest. Not just by the fact that they're in bloody Paris, which is gorgeous, but also the fact that they deal with time revolving back to the beginning of time, the beginning of the Jaggeroth. You've got Mona Lisas, multiple Mona Lisas, the Doctor going back in time, left, right, and center. And best of all, the best thing about City of Death, do you want to know? A companion that should have been a full-time companion. But I'm not talking about Romana 2. I'm talking about pissing Duggan. Duggan, City of Death, was probably... Oh, I've got somebody here. I have got somebody here. Let's see. Can I get him in here? Do I have an Alex? I have
Hey,
Alex.
what's up?
Hello. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. Glad to be here. I
Oh,
was
fantastic.
doing better knowing that you were on a stream. That's awesome.
Well, I just thought it was just about time that we actually did a stream because I've missed YouTube for quite some time. I'm just looking around how I can schedule the screens. I get to move around the screens. I
Yay.
have multiple people on as many time. Like, it's great, and I'm so glad to have you here with me.
Thank you for having me. It's not been the same without you.
Oh, fantastic! I mean, I do find the fact that I've gone off YouTube for about 7 months. It does feel longer, but I really feel quite happy to be greeted by all of you. Like you're my Doctor Who family on here, and even if
Yeah.
aren't my Doctor Who family, they still watch my content for a laugh. I try to be as funny as I possibly can. Yeah, of course.
Well,
I mean, you've clearly seen I've put the Power Planet in the best, thinking, "Oh, is it for a joke, Alex?"
well, I mean, as long as the Ribos operation goes up there too, I'll be fine.
Definitely, we'll do that then. Yeah, I'll just get on to City of Death. I've already made this list of stories so far. I did all these tier lists last night, thinking I'm going to do a lot of them here, but instead, I've only done about 3. But I've done the main 3 though that I wanted to do. If I did the modern Doctor Who episodes, we'd be here till 7 o'clock, which for you would be fine, but for me, it kind of won't be.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've got a stream at that point too, so.
I'll join for your live stream. How about that?
No, you're tired.
Don't worry, it's fine. I'm all right. I'll make it for anyone's stream. I'm literally free tonight, and I do know my. What story are you watching tonight, Alex?
The pilot.
Oh,
Capaldi.
well,
Somebody's favorite Doctor.
I can't miss Capaldi, so I'll join, mate. I'll join.
Yay! And yes, Charlie, I did get the Fury from the Deep Steel book recently, so I'm excited.
Fantastic! I bet that's going to come on your channel at some point.
Oh yeah. I did the unboxing recently, and I'll do like a breakdown of the design and everything.
Obviously,
so what's next?
Right.
What story have we got next?
I've just finished off City of Death, and not only for the fact that I just said to the people watching this, I've not only described the fact that not only the setting and the setting of Paris is great, you've got a brilliant storyline. Not only you've got that, you've got one amazing companion in there, not being Romana too, but pissing Duggan.
Duggan, 100%. We need a Duggan spinoff.
The bloody times where Tom Baker pulls it back thinking, Duggan, how many times have I told you? No pissing guns.
And the most important punch in history.
Yeah. Most important punch in history, and also the ending scene when the Doctor just walks around, the gardens in the Eiffel Tower, just waves for him. Bye, Duggan.
Bye, Duggan.
Please bring him back. Yeah. Creature from the Pit is next. Not one to start off with. Well.
Oh boy.
Where are you suggesting? We've got the tiers of the elite tier being the best, fantastic being one of your standout best, fantastic stories that you enjoy every once in a while and you really go back to it. Not one that is your best, like your favorite tier, like this is obviously the best. You're all right on some of the underrated stories that are there, which are good. The bearables are I can get past these, and then the bin ones are the ones that you I tend to avoid.
Well, if that's the criteria for the bin tier, I do tend to avoid the Creature from the Pit. I don't know if that's too harsh, but that would,
because if you're looking closer, it's literally the scene where Tom Baker's kissing the.
That's the one. Yeah, that'll
stop getting monetized.
Yeah. For the sake of your monetization, we'll put it there and move on to the next one.
Yeah, next one is Planets of Evil. What's your thoughts on watching Planets of Evil? I know it's probably been one you haven't watched for a while, but from memory, what can you remember?
Well, from memory, I remember that that's the one where they reuse the Claws of Axos monster. So I remember that. And I just think for me, it's one that I don't gravitate towards in series 13 and season 13. So for me, I'm not impressed by it, but I feel like I need to give it another chance because it honestly has been ages since I
Yeah,
watched it.
we'll put it in just about bearable. I think the one thing I'll give,
Yeah.
the only silver lining I'll give it is that the setting is, oh gosh, I die in that forest, that kooky forest, a forest full of, electrical, antimatter energy all around you, and you feel like something's creeping up behind you, but then it's invisible. It's like invisible outline drawings that's trying to creep behind you in that complete and utter, brutalizing forest that is full of, all the different colors. They made that all in just
Mm,
one little warehouse. I mean, that
right. That alone, I think, puts it up. Saves it from the bottom tier.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we've got the Mind of Evil, and the photo I've chosen it is basically the Doctor when he's looking at the Master. The Master's looking at the Doctor in his mind. The Doctor's laughing at the Master, being the evil, heartly Doctor that he is. It's fear of the Master is clearly the Doctor laughing in his face and watching him fail.
That is a great, great moment. Yeah, I'm good with that spot.
Yeah, good spot for fantastic. And if Charlie's watching, then he's already posted a post about season 8. Anyway, I think season 8 is being talked about a lot more because they've had rumors of season 8 being the next box set to be released in terms of
Right.
release, which I think it's a good choice because I'm not gonna lie, I've put a lot of these season 8 stories down, near fantastic and all right, and we've got one of the next one, which is the Daemons.
Yeah, that's of course, one of the most well-known Pertwee stories. So I think it's a great season to come out because it introduces you to Jill Grant. I feel like Unit comes more into its own in those stories. Obviously, we get the Master, so it's a
Yeah.
great introductory season.
So, what are you suggesting? Do you suggest the best for it? Do you think the black magic from the Master, brings it a little bit more of a sinister vibe to it?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm the odd one out here. I would put it in the second down tier, but I think everybody else in the fandom would put it in the top. So
No, I mean, it's just too good. Like, there's multiple ones that we've got to get through next, including this little one here, which is the Ribos operation, which I think will go
yes.
like that.
Yes, the characters, the dialogue, that scene with the guy who believes that there are stars out there and he just finds it out is the most amazing, heartwarming scene ever. I mean, I feel like he was the Wilfred Mott of looking up at the stars and believing aliens were there. I love the whole story from start to finish.
I love that character who tends to be the businessman of trying to, oh, I'll sell you this one, very good price, but you've got to give me something in return, please.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, they're the best.
I'm waiting for my package here. Where's this? Where's my reward in return?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It deserves to be up there because it's your choice. We're leaving with it. Um,
Thank you.
Anyway, just ending on the Daemons. I really watched the Daemons like a couple of weeks ago, and for the love of God, I think the one of the characters, one of the unit soldiers, I could not get with, and that's the reason why I put it in the fantastic tier. I was going to pick in the best, but that one soldier that was trying to cooperate with the Doctor, trying to build this sort of heat barrier destroyer mechanism, and he was like, "Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Come on, man, get it together, get a grip." And literally, I'm screaming at the TV, like, come on, you're bloody unit soldier. You get paid thousands of pounds, and you're literally there thinking, what the It's like, oh, man, not man. You're in the army.
You would have think he'd have done better under pressure, but poor guy.
I know it does come to an end, but come on, man. Seriously. Right, next up, Day of the Daleks. The first Dalek story that appeared for quite some time since 1967. Sorry, come on, numbers mixed up there.
Is that the first one where we see the Doctor drink wine?
I believe so, and it's also the
'Cause
first time that we get to see the Ogrons.
I love the Ogrons. I think they're a brilliant addition to the Doctor Who universe. What I remember most about that story is just getting really hungry for cheese. The cheese platter and that just makes me hungry every time.
Oh wait, it's making you hungry right now.
Yes.
That's good then, because everyone loves food, especially when they had any sort of reference into Doctor Who. It makes makes every audience member think, "Oh, you're now craving me for some cheese right now." It's like everyone loves a good food reference. That's why everyone, I think, food references are incredibly important because not only they just bring a bit of humor to a story, but also they give the audience like that feeling like, now you're making me hungry. Now I'm snacking. Babies now. I'm snacking on an orange, even if it's Capaldi told me that, no one likes tangerines anymore. I like tangerines now. Anyway, shape or form, I'll find a way.
Yes.
So yeah, I've put it in all right because not only I think that the story is good for a four-parter, the Gold Dalek, I thought the special edition with the DVD I think it's good. You've got to probably give credit to the fact that if it's a special edition version is better, I'll put in fantastic. However, with it just being a good Dalek story, I think it deserves to be an all right. I think Louis Marks had a lot of fun writing that story because it dealt with a lot of time flux and relative dimensions, going to different time zones and creating paradoxes. Like that was the main focal point of Terry Nation not going down that area and doing so, because I think at the time Terry Nation was still doing the other movies like the Creep Peer Crusher movies. I think was still doing those at the time. So I think somebody had to do a Dalek story. Louis Mark stepped up.
Yeah, it is rare to have a Dalek story that's not written by Terry Nation.
Right then, we're going to go with the next one, which is Doctor Who and the Silurians.
Ooh.
I would have to say, going from liking season 7, I'm going to put it the best because not only it introduces the fact that they've got Silurians, which is probably one of the most interesting Doctor Who villains, not just for the fact that they invade Earth, but also they try to understand some form of life that after the Earth was taken over by humans, they think they still possess it. And it's that gel of loving humans and yet still loving Silurians and yet not having any bloodshed or anything like that. It's all about just having that gel of perfect harmony. And I think the Doctor tried his best.
Yeah.
I would appreciate for the fact that the Silurians soundtrack is very, very different from most soundtracks throughout the classic series. You've got they use kazoos in of most of the soundtracks as sound effects. Kazoo. Now that's one instrument that most people tend to have in their in a shed somewhere to play on the kazoo. But wow, making a kazoo into a Doctor Who story like that, like the music is actually really good. I love it. I sometimes listen to it, like I feel like I want to get the soundtrack of it because it makes you wonder, like some of the scenes, like the cliffhangers, like where there's a Silurian claw, or like the outline in the sun where the Silurian is literally walking around. You can't see his face, but you can just see the outline where the sun sets in the background. It's beautiful.
I definitely agree, and I think the only thing that could have made this story better is if it had been the story called Invasion of the Dinosaurs.
Yes, I would have thought the dinosaur, including the Silurians, would have been better. However, I think now we mentioned on the Invasion of the Dinosaurs, I'm going to bring that up. Where do we think? I think we're going to go with all right because the all right part of it is just being the dinosaurs being
a letdown.
A letdown, but you've got to appreciate. I think the reason why they tried to create a dinosaur story with a very unique plot twist, which is quite interesting. I think Malcolm Hulk really captured the idea of not only dinosaurs being featured, but for the fact that we can control them in this sort of dimensional area. We can transport people to a fact where the dinosaurs are really living the golden age of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think the story has a lot to commend itself, if only the Who-mobile.
Oh, like I remembered Adam unfortunately just left. He showed something on his Facebook page. He found the bill, and it was for over $300. And
on eBay.
Yeah, on eBay. I was thinking, Alex, you've got enough money to get it, surely.
I know, right? Yeah, right. I'll beg my parents. It's okay.
Wait until you're in the streets, and then you'd be like, "Oh, who may was coming past?" No, sorry, I'm here to pick up some bread and some milk. What in that? Yeah, in this thing, I'm gonna look like a badass while doing it. Next up, then we've got going to the only Doctor Who story that doesn't have a featured companion, and that is the Deadly Assassin.
Oh,
What opinions on that then? Because I think with a darker master, with with a crinkled sort of crusty sort of like exposed look to like some like
crispy master.
yeah.
I think it should just strap in because we're going to be rocketing it right to the top here. I don't think you'll find a better. It ages so well, and the setting of Gallifrey, the Master, the
Yeah.
dreamscape. It's an incredible story, even without having a companion.
Absolutely. I did feel sorry for the fact when Tom Baker was thinking, I should have this with Sarah, but I'm glad Sarah didn't get involved because I think it would have felt more too much on her and less more on the threat of Gallifrey. The threat of Gallifrey is fantastic. Still with the Matrix, still having all these different illusions, and the illusions are fantastic. I have to credit for the fact that they used the killing scenes in this story because not only that they shrunk people in the little cavity of the I think it was like a telescope sort of thing, and then used the master stabbed somebody in the back while he was still walking. They were like, I'm sorry," and then he just fell to the ground like that, and you've realized, whoa, like he was talking but still had the knife in the back. Like I don't know how he did that. And then for the fact that the master tried to tranquilize himself to make himself appear dead, and then come back saying, "Ha, I'm alive. You thought I was dead, Doctor? Oh, not today."
I do love that there's that one guy, Bernard Horsfall, who's in like so many Doctor Who stories, and he is great.
Yeah, I thought he appears in most of the important Doctor Who stories, especially most of them will come up to next. But I think he definitely builds a. I think he builds up Tom Baker to be that person to survive through the Matrix, and even the Doctor's up in that tree. He's like scouring up all of the trees area, and he's running from the helicopter as well. It's like it's like this so-called like run around chase scene, but it's like this is in like a dome sort of mind state, not more like this is just outside and you're running outside. It feels more than just it's being outside. It's like you're being stuck in like this little bubble, this little mind, this bubble of illusions.
It does. It really feels like the mind robber in a way, but taken up a level, especially with Bernard Horsfall having been in both stories.
Yeah. All right then. Oh God, do I have to do this one? Destiny of Alex.
Is there room on the top tier? Do you think?
Top tier. Oh boy, Alex, I might have to ask you to leave. I'm only joking. If you are watching this, you might have seen on the channel my reaction to Destiny of the Dogs. I don't want to do another one because you've already seen it and it's not changed. It belongs. Fortunately, in the bin, there's nothing I would give anything to praise it, unless you count the fact that they introduced paper wrap stone jelly baby scene into that game. I'll give credit to that.
Yep.
Paper wrap stone, paper wraps jelly baby. But don't know what I'm having. Like it's just like it's secret.
Right.
Bit of fun, bit of comedy. In all honesty, with the whole thing, with the whole planet being at war with the Mavelians. No one likes a jelly baby. Come on. Live a little. Colony in Space. Not one from I can remember. Master appears quite late in this one, and I don't think there's much to go on when it comes to this one just being about football.
Yeah, I agree. Some cool boulder scenes, but beyond that, not so good.
Yeah. The Green Death. How were you thinking about the Green Death? Does it belong fantastic or best, do you think?
Best. Absolutely. If for me, if I cry during a Doctor Who story and they're like good tears, then it goes straight to the top.
Brilliant. Yeah, I was having this. I mentioned this during the live stream. I was mentioning something about which departure do you find more impactful? Obviously, when you watch Fury from the Deep, you realize then you've got Victoria departing. When you watch Fury from the Deep, I want to, have your thoughts again. Would you compare Victoria's departure to Joe Grant's departure? Which one felt more heartbreaking, and one felt deserving of that character deciding to leave the TARDIS team for the right reasons. Because I think when you look at both companions, you think they're both well-known companions, but for the fact that one had a time where they were facing up against Daleks, Cybermen, Ice Warriors, Yeti, whereas Jo Grant, she's done it all really. She's had those happy characters. She's felt more confident. She's been less scared than most other companions. She's developed that strong bond with John Perry, and I think that's just down to the amount of episodes she's been in. But I think from what I've watched from Shoot from the Deep from the Steelbook, I cried non-stop when Victoria was departing, and I find it more of a heartbreaking scene with Victoria instead of Jo Grant, because I love Jo Grant, but I think most people would argue that which one's more sadder.
Yeah, I
Victoria.
mean, it definitely depends. I think if you're more of a third or second Doctor fan, you'll lean one way or the other. I think Jo Grant, we see her sort of grow, and she got ready to leave, which I think, even though the departure is sad, it's less sad because you're also kind of proud of her and happy for her. So it's a different kind of sadness when she leaves. Whereas with Victoria, and hearing your talk on this the other day, I think it was just in our video chat, that I was really impressed by what you were saying about how Victoria has been through a lot, and some companions, there is an aspect of trauma when you travel with the Doctor that I don't think is addressed enough. And for her, I think what was also sad with her departure is that you so shipped her and Jamie, so there is that lost sort of relationship. It's like they're being separated, and that makes it sadder.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, sometimes when I go into that sort of like in-depth sort of talk, I sometimes don't know where to stop. So I mean,
I loved it.
that's the things of what I do during my YouTube channel, and I think that's probably why people subscribe, because I go sometimes I talk slow, but I talk in depth in the same time, just to get the point across, so that everyone has a understanding from different angles, whether they're looking at it from one's perspective, but I'm looking at it as a complete other opposite. So
I love it, because if you ask me about a story, it's like, unless I've watched it recently, I'm just sort of like, what happened in that story? So I'm very envious of your ability to talk so eloquently on the spot about any story.
Yeah. Hand of Fear being the departure to Sarah Jane. Do you remember anything other than the departure? Because I think watching this one on my VHS tape, I actually don't mind what they did in order to give Sarah Jane a good farewell story, but I don't think the story holds itself up. I don't think.
No, I do think Sarah was sort of gypped in that sense. I would have preferred a better story, for it to be a send-off for her. I'm also kind of annoyed because since Sarah's departure, so many other companions have come and gone to Gallifrey in the extended media, that watching it now, you're just sort of annoyed that Sarah left for that reason. And it's just because we love Elizabeth Sladen so much,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it in just about bearable, just for the fact alone that the departure was sweet.
Right.
I think the storyline would be a lot better, especially now that it was a hand absorbing radiation that they were struggling from, and that hand unfortunately made into this sort of this female character called Elgar, I think, and Elgar must live. Elgar must live. I mean, this was the sort of thing. I liked what they did, having a story inside a nuclear power plant, which was nice.
Certainly, and some good explosions. Some good explosions in a quarry.
Good in a quarry. I thought they were going to blow up the nuclear power plant, but instead they didn't do it because the radiation from the missiles gets absorbed by the hand, and it leads to the configuration of this different being, I guess. But that's just the one thing that I'm a bit gutted by, is that the Doctor got Sarah to the wrong place again. Not South Croydon. He bloody blew it.
That's near Croydon, isn't it?
Well, Croydon's in London, Aberdeen's in Scotland.
That's wow. That is a lot. That is a lot.
Oh, such a shame. Invisible Enemy we go to next with the introduction of K9. Well, I think for the introduction itself, it's good. Storyline, I wasn't blown away by miniaturization going inside the human sort of elements of isolated the nuclear Arctic membrane sort of thing. I wasn't blown away by it. I can just imagine, surgeons watching out thinking, this is how aliens operate on each other. And it's like, should we steal this shrinking technology for ourselves? I liked what they did with Into the Dark because I did it better. But with this, it's like the work inside, like the graphics, especially when you get to look at some of the scenery in it, it looks quite nice. I just wasn't blown away by, this was an invasion of the Swarm. It just didn't blow me away.
I think the set design was excellent, but the story kind of lets it down.
I think for that, I'll give it in just about bearable, the top of just about bearable.
Yep.
Mask of Mandragora. I'm sorry to say, but I think I'm going to put this one in the bin because, in all honesty, with a setting like it was back in a historical story, and I felt it just doesn't work with medieval soldiers trying to. It felt like we were going to go around in circles again, going through this whole medieval sort of thing, and then we have this spectre doing this black magic and rising people up. It's just like it was like this simple Damon sort of thing, but mixed it with a historical. It just didn't work, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Horror Fan Rock. Now the Halloween, we've just had a Horror Fan Rock of a showdown, which I think definitely belongs into the best.
I love Horror Fan Rock. It's brilliant. Start to finish, love it.
I think it's for the fact this was after Philip Hinchcliffe's era. This was straight afterwards, and when people thought when Philip Hinchcliffe left, that was going to be end of all good Doctor Who Tom Baker stories. You think this one wasn't done by Philip Hinchcliffe? What? Oh my days!
Yeah,
good. Like
it is. The only thing that could possibly let it down was the fact that the Rutan looked like a jellyfish.
No, I was really impressed by the fact that they managed to get the reactions from the characters, like especially I think the character was called Ben. He was the one to die first, and his body was left on the floor. I remembered when they did that. They walked down the lighthouse, and I think the lighthouse is a brilliant setting to not only one person at the top, and then you've got your enemy at the bottom, and you're trying to escape, but the enemy's coming up. You've got no way to jump off unless you try and survive, which there's very little chance of us doing that.
Yeah, it's an excellent setting.
I also like the fact that they have the reactions. Like, I think it was the character called Vince, and he went downstairs and he heard a noise. He went downstairs, and when he looked over the side to see Ben's body, I can just immediately, before the camera switched over to the empty casket where there was an empty body where it was gone, I just saw Vince be like, even for a split second, you saw how shocked he was. Like, no reaction afterwards when you saw the dead body. You saw his reaction first, and then you saw the dead body. It's like, what? He's gone.
Right.
Like that really impacts you. Go back and watch it. You will probably see Vince look round to the side and be like, and then it'll split. It'll go straight away to the scene where Ben's body's disappeared, and he literally is terrified. His bones is shivering. He can't stop shaking. He's literally spooked out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very spooky.
They get the reactions before they put it split screen to a disappearing body. I mean, that's even more impactful than seeing the reaction after when you see that there's the dead body there. It makes the character feel more in danger than you do. It makes the character feel more, like they're being threatened, and yet when you see it, it's like, oh, it's gone. Like, you're not only scared, but they're also 10 times scared than you.
Right. Death is real in this episode, and the stakes are high.
Yeah. And only the screams are powerful, especially for the one woman who's, if you're watching with headphones, please bear for your ears. She screams so loud, like a terrifying shriek of fear. But even so, I save them for my ears.
Yeah, I will say that her character doesn't seem very realistic. It was just sort of like, here, scream a bunch. Why don't you?
Gentlemen, this lighthouse is under attack, and by morning we will be dead. My gosh, response to that. And no one can leave this lighthouse. So you tell me I can't leave this lighthouse because I'm going to get killed. If I stay in this lighthouse, I'm going to die anyway. What's the point? What's the point? You just say I've got one way. I've got 2 ways to die, but I can't escape. But you can survive, Doctor. I survive, and it works up top maker. Right then. Next up, we're going with Revenge of the Cybermen. Sorry, I'm taking this too long, guys. I'm having a lot of fun with my good mate Alex.
We are.
Revenge of the Cybermen. Now, immediately, you think that they are in a cave full of gold. And yet, I thought the Cybermen were allergic to gold in this. And it's like, completely miscarriage this whole weakness of gold. And yet, they're on the bloody planet where they're walking around with a cave system with gold dust falling in the caves. And that could get inside the little chest systems and make them suffocate. How the hell did they not do that?
Right. I think the design of the Vogons really, it's distracting for me. I think that lets the story down. And I think the best part about this, though, is the Harry Sullivan is an imbecile line. That's the best part. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, that cliffhanger of Harry Sullivan, almost destroying the Doctor. Imagine if that was the regeneration and next week was just Castrovalva. Like, it's just the 5th Doctor lying there in the rubble.
Well, to be honest, when you say that, you can change the course of history just like that. Yeah, well, I'm going to put, well, only for the reason is, maybe that line alone doesn't save that story a lot. I think that does be in the bin because the Cybermen look to seem quite robotic. They sound too human. Yeah. Sorry, I've now just got the lights on. My now. That's fine. Yeah, I'm still on. I'm hopefully going to be finishing off quite soon because
we'll speed through these.
Yeah, hopefully. Robot. How about that? Robot. We're going to go for. All right. Good opening to Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Good. Nothing too great. I think he's very funny, especially with his sort of post-regeneration sort of things. Especially when he's getting into the costumes. He's dressed up as a Viking.
So funny.
Oh God, he's not going to walk around thinking like that. UNIT is supposed to be a private organization. Just might, I think just might. Right there. Then he becomes a priest, which nope.
A jester.
Like a little jokester. Like he even makes us like the beginning looks like. Doctor, stop playing around, and Tom Baker's like he cries like a little joke.
Yeah.
And then he comes out with his little outfit, like
it's great.
All fun and games. All
right, so you tell me your thoughts on the Sunmakers first, because
why? Because I think you might like the story more. I think it's I think it's a good story generally by the fact that it does a business to a new way. And I'm going to put it in all right because it is a good story for the fact that they try and make the whole thing about taxes being a lifeline. You don't have enough taxes, you die. Simple as that. And it's like, oh, I'm going to steal all your taxes, but I'm only giving you the very the bare minimum in order for you to survive on this planet. So,
I love it. It's just so funny. The humor in it is incredible start to finish. It is kind of a very unsubtle message, but I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I've just had a look now in the chat. Adam's apparently locked into his flat and he can't get out. He's trying to escape through the window.
Oh no!
Adam, please keep yourself safe. Please don't jump out windows.
Yes.
We don't want Tom Baker jumping out of the Android invasion window moments. Oh no, there's another Doctor. Just jump through this window. Okay, we've got Power of Kroll next, coming to the Key to Time season now. With Power of Kroll, big massive monster is the key. And we realise that at the very end, which I think just makes it about bearable.
Yep.
Not horrible, but just there. Frontier in space. A lot of people love this one. And I've got to treat with some respect to the fact that they try and do like a Doctor Inside Lowrins, but instead they do it in space. And I'm going to put it in the middle of fantastic, because not only it has, the good reveal of the Master with the Daleks at the end, like that's the only alliance you get to see Roger Goddard standing next to a bloody Dalek. I think that could have been the next story afterwards, but unfortunately, Roger Goddard's last story before, unfortunately, was just devastating.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it should belong. I think like it. Image of the Fendal, bin, not what to go back to.
Doesn't do it for me. Forgettable is a good way to describe it.
Three Doctors, best, I'd say.
Straight to the top.
Straight to the top. Even if Hartnell didn't get a chance to interact with all three of them, they still managed to interact for that photo shoot there anyway. I mean, that's the time that they ever met in the same room and had a photo with each other. I mean, that's the closest you've got to, but even still, the Doctor looking like a dandy and the second Doctor looking like a clown, that's the closest you'll get to any insults.
Yes.
And of course, the late great Stephen Fallon, still one of the best persons I've ever met, and the only time that I met him for about 2 years ago at Warp. Very, very privileged to meet him, and like I said, just the he owned everything of Omega for sure. Like he willed his way to that role. He willed himself to exist. Still a brilliant man. Death to the Daleks, of more silly Dalek variety stories. Oh, bearable.
Yep.
Daleks get bashed about by bloody sticks. And one Dalek decides to self-destruct because they failed, because they decided to capture the other prisoners. I think the Exxon's puzzles are quite intricate, and it gives the Doctor more of like a thought pattern to go by these different mazes. It's like a maze, but you've got to go through different walls within a different system. Genesis. Saying about Genesis best. I'll be a fool if I put it in the bin right now.
Straight to the top. Straight to the top.
Yeah, I put it as in, like, say, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so forth. Like, okay. Even still, like, just for the fact that we've got our guilty pleasures at the very top there, I'll put those at the best just for the sake. But I think this order is I think it's just right, I'd say. I might do the same with the Fantastic, but I think everything's all right. Everything's fine there. Stones of Blood. The fact that they've got Stonehenge sort of creatures that you turn into blood just by touching them. They drain all your blood out. I don't like how they changed part 3 into a sort of a like a jury sort of scene. Like, this is like a court sort of thing. Like, you are the adjudicator and everything like that. And they have these flying pieces of like light, these springy little lights here. I'm thinking, is that it? Is that all they can afford, to have sparkly lighters that voices come out of them? At least show them a little face. Come on. But I'm going to give it, just for the fact that they tried something with Stonehenge and tried to be creepy, I'm going to put it in order. I think it's just right. Inferno next. We all know where that is going, and I think that is going to overtake City of Death.
Wow.
I think I've put it there because
you put it there.
I have, because I'm just thinking about what it would look like, because it's a doomsday scenario. Not only do we get that parallel universe, but you also get to see what is going to be known as the future, but yet you're going to go back in time and yet change it. It's the clever concept that they've introduced to not only elevate John Pertwee's character to be this heroic, life-saving Doctor, but also you've got the likes of these other characters around you, making the Doctor feel like, oh, this is the Doctor being at his true best. And yet, even still, he's got characters to build himself, more character development. That's why I think a lot of these, say, season 8's the perfect season, especially when you've got the likes of the Doctor and you've got the likes of the Master. Those two entities are so powerful within each other. You can't say one's better than the other, because I think the Master makes the Doctor look good, and the Doctor makes the Master look good. That's how important these two characters are, because not only the fact it happens with everyone, whenever somebody sings their first song and you get praised by a famous singer or something like that, that elevates up your career. It not only makes you feel good, it also makes themselves feel really good as well. And same goes with stories and characters. Like, if they decided to put in, I don't know, City of Death. If they didn't put Duggan in there or Scarf in there, that would have not just elevated Tom Baker, it would have also elevated the story as well. So there's good stories and bad stories, but there's always a good reason to have these characters, particularly in these stories, whether it's companions, whether it's supporting characters, or even as monsters. Not only makes them look good, but also makes them, the others look good as well. So there's always a good thing to look at stories. Androids of Tara, probably everyone's favorite Key to Time story. I do think it is. I'm going to put it in all right.
Yeah.
Probably going to put it there, only because I think Androids is probably what most people tend to like, and I think it had a good tone of pace to the, sort of who's an Android and what's not an Android. I still think, had some very nice moments, and surprised how they found the key straight away. Also thinking, that's it. They found just like that. It's like, oh no, this is an easy Doctor Who story, but no, they lose it, and they have to get it back in the end, and the Doctor has to fight off in a fencing sword in a duel to get it. Of all the things the Doctor have to do, and especially the next one, which we've got, is the last of the Key to Time season, is the Armageddon Factor. And I'm going to put this in fantastic, only because I've had the better enjoyment of watching the honor of watching the captain being built up impressively by the Doctor. And not only having Lala Ward, the second Romana, being added into the mix, you get to see a very impressive performance from Mary Tam, especially being on this incredible journey. Mary Tam just elevates the Doctor to that next level, makes him a more emotional Doctor. Yet they're both Time Lords, and yet they still have that, that unique sort of gel. They may have their they try and one up each other because they think, oh, and you're like, no, I can fly the TARDIS myself. Like, no, Doctor, you always have to have me to fly the TARDIS for you. It's like, no, I don't. Well, maybe I do, but it doesn't matter. So he's always like questioning himself, do I need help? But I do think the Armageddon Factor deserves at least some, because I think it gets highly criticized for the length, but I think the characters just gel quite nicely. Don't worry, Alex, we're nearly done. We've just got a couple of episodes left. I think we might have some good ones here. We've got Seeds of Doom next, which has the first appearance of the Krynoid. What are we suggesting of that? So are we suggesting the best?
I think so. I think it really handles the 6-part format really well.
Do you also think that for the one-off monster, do you think the Krynoid is probably up there as the best of the bunch? Because
definitely.
This is probably one of the villains that you would think comes up from a single pod, yet there's two of them, because the famous line that Tom Baker said, which I can't believe he actually said this, it was like, there's two of them. No, they only come in pairs, like policemen. Hey, seriously, he's got a bloody police box. He only comes up by himself. So yeah. Well, maybe that's a little reference to. Remember Resurrection when there were two police officers on the street? They come in pairs. So who knows? Maybe Tom Baker forward pass something over to them.
Yeah, I've got to go soon. So if we speed right through these, that would be great.
Underworld goes in the bin. We all know that. What's that one there? I can't seem to pick out. Is that? Oh yeah, that's Nightmare of Eden. I'd say that's just about bearable. Time Warrior, for the people who love it, I say is the best. Jane. Planet of the Daleks, fantastic Dalek story, brilliant, brilliant atmosphere, and brilliant use of the invisibility. Now we're just speeding up. Braid of Morbius. Now that we know more about the Morbius Doctors, do they count? I think just about bearable.
Okay.
Not really a big Hammer House of Horror sort of aspect. Love the fact that they're trying to create a Frankenstein sort of character. Face of Evil, I would have to say probably in the all right category, because I think it does have some good parts, like the Zoanon, like you see the Doctor being like, destroy or be free, who am I? And it's like, wait, is the Doctor duplicating himself? Is this another version of Tom Baker? We don't know that. So it's like contradicting, is this Tom Baker version really him, or is there a computer version that is him? That is some computer god sort of thing. Plant Spiders, probably a good finale. I'd say I'll put it into all right, because no matter with the the access to the vehicles that the Doctor had, but I think for the fact it was an entity that he had to decide whether it was him or the fact that he had to sacrifice the blue crystal for the safety of others, and that led him to a massive decision when he came later to his regeneration. Last couple of ones, down to the last 6. Robots of Death. Classic, fantastic. Do you think?
Straight to the top.
Straight to the top. Wow. Brilliant.
Love that. Love it.
Absolutely. I mean, next thing you know, you're walking around to... If you ever see a robot and you see those cursed eyes, you think, right, I'm just going to walk away past this robot because I do not want him to follow me. And then he follows you, be like, sir, you have, I have something for you. Like, no, I don't want to go near you. You've got those red eyes. It's like, no, sir, I have got something for you. It's like, oh, what? It's like, I will start to kill you now. It's like, oh, great, I knew that was coming. Sea Devils. I'm going to put at the top of fantastic. Probably the spot spot for it. Towns of Wen Chiang. I think we all put that the best. People love Sherlock for the fact that the doctor looks like Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, that does. Yeah, that does look right. I think so. Monster of Peladon. I actually prefer this one over Curse of Peladon. I just think the fact that the Ice Warriors just look a bit evil in this, and they act a bit evil, yet the length is a bit slow. I think for that, we'll give it... I think if Curse of Peladon goes there, I think Monster has to go in there, just for the sake of it. Peladons haven't always been that good. Mutants, I think it's just about bearable. I don't mind it. I think it's quite a rated one. I don't mind the mutants being in there, being a monster, but I think it's a good character-driven story, not just by the mutants themselves. And then, of course, the Horns of Nimon. Great to finish off. Horns of Nimon. Fun mess. Just a mess, but it's a funny mess nonetheless. I just laugh so much. It's the one story that I just think this is so crap, but I love just laughing at it.
That's a great list.
That is a long list. I understand you have to go soon now, Alex. So I'm going to let you go right now. Thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so glad, you've enjoyed it, and I will certainly keep up my content and post videos all in good time and try to steady myself, because I never try to push myself and always trying to make sure I get the proper good videos off properly. And I always tend to wonder when people tend to, think, Alex, you're going to go away again. Please tell us, are you going to come back? And I need to do that, because I always tend to I just tend to forget on YouTube. I'm like that. I'll probably go away for a couple of months and then it'd be like, Alex, so you've return to YouTube again. I don't think we don't apology. It's like, oh, fine. I'll make more videos then. It's like,
yay.
Like that. So yeah, thanks so much, Alex, for joining me. Been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Put you over for your live stream soon.
Thank you. See you then.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So yeah, that is probably the end to my live stream. I think we'll probably wrap it up there. And as well as probably going on speaking to Alex, one of my great friends, I keep in contact. He's got a YouTube channel of his, the Doctor Who Guide. I've also got Adam's, Time Lord Fishwick's YouTube channel in there. I'll leave the link in the description down below to his YouTube channel. I've kind of been on for quite a while. It's been a good 3.5 hours, and I apologize for somebody to have to watch all the way through this. And you're thinking, I don't want to watch through all of this. Well, don't worry. I'm just glad to the fact that you have made it here, and I just want to say that I will be continuing my channel for some time. Let's just say I will make videos when I kind of feel like the break or the free time is available to me. I think with my work, it's important that I steady myself, because not only have work told me to not only keep yourself, rest a lot, keep yourself at a good steady pace, don't overdo it, and most importantly, try and live life a little. Like, I've got friends of mine who joined this stream, and I'd like to meet up with them at some point. I've got all of you guys, which I've still got a lot of more Doctor Who stories to do. And I'd like to please everyone in the best way possible form, trying to please everyone on YouTube, in my personal life, and just, trying to be the best person I can. And I know I haven't been brilliant, especially with this live stream. Like, I think this live stream was just organized at the one last minute. And I thought, I hope you can all forgive me, because I really do appreciate, it's a massive opportunity for me as as a person like as somebody like me on this channel, doing really well for a time, and then I go off, and then I all of a sudden come back. I think I just need to just pace myself. And I don't know, if you have any suggestions for video ideas, then please message me or comment down below on this video. And make sure you smash the like button for me, give a share, and subscribe to the channel most importantly. And if you want to know the question, am I back? Actually, no, let's try that again. So if you're probably wondering to the question, am I back on YouTube? The answer is yes. And I will deliver YouTube videos when you don't see them coming. And I will make sure that everyone has a blast. And if you want me to do another live stream like this, then feel free. Tell me, do another live stream, Alex, because you're bloody good at them. I'm so good at them. I've told it to myself for a long time, and especially on this live stream, I am just so bloody brilliant, aren't I? Well, anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I don't know if it's going to be on my channel. If not, thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and I will see you soon in a new video. Don't know when, but you're not going to see it coming. It'll be on there. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate a lot of you. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and I want to continue making these videos, but at the pace that I can do, and I hope all of you can understand that. For all my friends, they support me, and they want me to do well, and I'm going to continue to do my best in the best way forward. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the friendly chats and the friend requests. I just thank you all. Made me realize going back onto YouTube is actually worthwhile, doing, because I've got to do something during lockdown. So if it's making YouTube videos, making you laugh, having a great time, then at least I'm doing something in 2020. I mean, we all want the world to kind of end right now. We kind of want 2020 to finish right now, but I'm glad I'm back. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.